Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Check the back seat. Check the back seat.
Gets in your head, right? Good, because every year dozens of children are forgotten in the back seat. Cars get hot fast and can be deadly, so get it in your head. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
You can listen to Burns on Deck Show starting 1 hour before first pitch for all 162 games this season on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app. Get ready for the game with Touch 'Em All and listen for your chance to win Royals tickets during the pitch clock. We are in your car, we are on your phone, and we are free for every Royals game this season. Tune in to Burns on Deck Show 1 hour before first pitch, right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Dusty Likens, and I have a new social media series called Range Bait that is up on all of 96.5 The Fan's social channels. I love golf. I talk about it. You know it. I watch it. I play it. So every week I'm headed out to the range to hit a bucket of balls and talk to you. It could be Royals conversation. It could be about how the chicken crossed the road. Who gives a rip? New videos will be released every Thursday on the Fans YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter pages. Range Bait with me, Dusty Likens, on your home for Kansas City Sports 96.5 The Fan. Wake up, everybody. The holiday weekend is over. We get moving along. It's a Tuesday, not a Monday. It's a short week. You get to enjoy it, so it doesn't end yet. But welcome back to reality. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Hope it was fun. Hope it was enjoyable. Hope it was nice for you and your families and your friends and whoever you hung out with. Welcome back to the show, boys.
Hello, hello.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. As
Weather was
like
amazing.
It was a great weekend. We had the best weekend. I spent it with my wife most of the time this weekend, and we had a beautiful weekend.
Wonderful.
Yeah, just the two of us bouncing around and doing some good things. And it started with Friday. I went over to the Keyhole Tavern, became a member over there at the Keyhole on Friday afternoon, had some friends, and I met a guy, and I got a gift for Dusty. What time do you want me to present the gift to Dusty? Because he's going to like this gift a lot, and I'm really excited to give him this gift. So do we want to do it in our next segment, or do we just want to get it out of the way right now?
Do we just want to rip off the Band-Aid?
Do we want to rip off the Band-Aid? Do you want your gift now? He's looking around going, what kind of gift is it? He's looking around. Do we want do we want to give it to him now? Do we want to do the gift now or
no
later,
idea
Mac?
what this is.
You don't know what it is either.
Bob got a peck tattoo. He's going to do the rest of the show shirtless.
I wish. I would do
You
the
just
show
have the
shirtless without the
sublime.
tattoo.
You just have the sublime.
I would do it without the tattoo. So I went to the Keyhole. I got a couple of friends who've been telling me for years
What
over
is
in
the
Mission.
Keyhole?
It's a little bar over in Mission. You got to have a membership card to get in for some reason, right?
Sounds awesome.
So I've had these friends for years, Kevin and Rob. They're like, come over here, be a member of the Keyhole. I'm like, all right, fine. So I finally get over there on Friday.
Is your membership a key?
It is. It's a little piece. No, it's actually just a paper card. And so they finally give me the membership, right? And great bar, great spot. I mean, it's a perfect bar. It really is. And I'm in there, and this guy comes up to me and starts talking. All the members, they want to meet you now, right? How you doing? Good to see you. Nice to meet you. Who are you? You know, all this kind of stuff. This guy comes up to me with a stack of cups, and he goes, I'd like to give you these cups. I go, all right, fine. They're from Augusta. They're from the Masters,
nice.
right? They're from the Masters.
Oh, this year, too.
This year, okay? And what's cool about this is that, and I got these for you.
Okay.
What's cool about this?
Is that the crow's nest one?
It is,
yes,
yeah.
Yes, those are the best.
Yeah, those are fantastic, right? And so this guy who gave me and I don't think I can say his name because how secretive it is, but he's been a volunteer at the Masters for over 20 years. So he's been on the course for the last 20 years, like changing the signs with the names, telling people to be quiet, all that kind of stuff. And for 20 plus years, he's been doing this down at Augusta. And I'm like, damn, Dusty needs to get in on this, right? We need to find a way to get Dusty down here to Augusta. And the guy, I said, so do you get paid to volunteer? Do they put you up and all that kind of stuff? He goes, oh, no, we all got to cram into a house and all this kind of stuff. And he says, what we do get, though, which is really cool, is every year after the Masters, they fly us back down and we get to play on the course. So this guy has played Augusta like 20 times.
That's incredible.
Just because he's a volunteer. Now, it's not easy, to become a volunteer for this. You've got to, fill out all the paperwork and do all this kind of stuff. But I thought, man, that is one of the coolest kind of things you can do in sports, right? Like I've had the opportunity, you guys had as well, to go to the Super Bowl. I've been to Final Fours, all that kind of stuff. But to be a volunteer at Augusta and to be on that course for the last 20 years of all those things that have happened down there for the last 20 years with the Tiger situation and, all of this kind of stuff that we've seen with him taking that course by storm and then golf exploding like this, to have that front row seat for the Masters for the last 20 years, I don't know that there's much better, guys, honestly. I mean, to be out there in the beautiful weather, to be on that course, and then to get to play it, too. How cool of a payout is that? You don't get a check for volunteering, but, man, you get to play for a week when it's all said and done. That's kind of cool, man. That's one of the coolest experiences that I think I've really even heard of in sports right now.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to obviously play. That's definitely a bucket list item of mine. It's top 2, I think, maybe 1 to get to Augusta. I don't know what number 2 would be. Maybe Fenway.
World Series?
Yeah. I mean, I had an opportunity, but I didn't have the money. But I saw the Royals win the pennant, so I think that's probably the coolest thing I've ever seen live from a local fan's perspective. I didn't go to any Chiefs playoffs games just because I like football better from my living room. So the people that got to experience those games, I know they were great. Mac, you saw the Tennessee game when they won the AFC Championship,
awesome.
Right?
But I do agree with you. That is a sport overall. Your couch is a better way to watch
for
football.
the NFL.
Yes, for
yeah,
the NFL,
absolutely. Not on Sundays anymore, though. Get your ass off the couch on Sunday. Show up on Wednesday.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, that's kind of
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
every day. Just sit on the couch and get fat and watch football, right?
I think the NFL playoffs is kind of like Mardi Gras in St. Louis, where you do it once, you've done it, you've been there, you don't need to do it again. Now, again, if you're one of those people that's what gives you the itch, then by all means keep going to all the playoff games because it gets rowdy at Arrowhead anytime they're there. So hopefully we can see that again. But yeah, this weekend was great. Weather was fantastic. I think we swam yesterday for 5 hours.
That's a long time in a pool. Yeah, we did that about on Sunday. I think we were out in the pool for about 5 hours.
Yeah, not necessarily in there for 5 hours straight, but water was perfect. I think it was 83 degrees, the water temperature. So, I mean, the temperature outside was 81. Going to have a good stretch this week of weather as well.
Yeah,
so,
this day is great.
And that's why I just kept telling everybody yesterday in the pool. I kept cheers on my surf side. I'm like, we made it. We made it. It's summer. It's officially summer. We're here. Now the best is yet to come because you made it through the winter. You made it through the grind. You got all that out of the way. Now everybody's going on vacations. Everybody's starting to plan out their summer. And you just kind of feel that stressless vibe with the majority of people. Now, obviously, there's people that still have a lot of things going on. Some of my friends are teachers, and they teach summer school for a couple more months, and then they really kind of get into the grind in the middle of July. Maybe you've got another trip coming up. I know I'm going to be going to Gulf Shores in the middle of July. You're going to be leaving Friday to go to another baseball stadium, so that'll be
go
fun.
see the Nationals on Friday. Go check out that ballpark, or I don't know what year this is, 23, 24, something like that. But, it just continues to roll on. Yeah, we got a trip planned in July as well. And then, it is now this time of year. And what I saw yesterday was really cool for me, and I know for you it's going to be good too. This is the longest period of true summer that we get until 2037. And what I mean by that is Memorial Day is at the earliest it could ever be, and Labor Day is at the latest it could ever be. So we've got 100 days roughly of that summertime feel of that summertime season where you only have 90 some days, and the next time it's going to be this long is in 2037. So we get basically an extra week of that summertime vibe because of Memorial Day being so early. But it's time, man. The summertime is here. OTAs begin today, out at Arrowhead Stadium. So we're getting closer and closer and closer.
That I'm hard.
And closer and closer and closer to seeing Patrick Mahomes out there throwing the football around and getting closer to the start of football season. And so, yeah, summertime is here, guys. It's going to be a lot of summertime vibes over the next couple of months, and it's going to be awesome, man. It's the best time of year. Everybody's out of school doing their thing, relaxing a little bit. The weather's beautiful. I went out and got some coffee this morning just because the weather was so nice. I'm like, I got to go drive for a couple more minutes before we get going this morning. But it is a gorgeous day outside today. Enjoy the hell out of it, man.
Yeah, I think the other thing, too, about it is that, you look at, where this time of the year is and, like, what everybody's getting ready to do is, like, you can just have a summer during the week. You can go home and sit on your patio and do whatever you want to do and cook dinner. You've got until 8:30 until it gets dark. So if you want to eat later, you have, things you got to run around and do. You can obviously take your time doing that. But, yeah, it's one of those things where I thought of you on about 8 o'clock last night. Because you always say that the Chiefs have gotten you through the wintertime.
Yeah.
Right? With the playoff runs, and all of a sudden you wake up and it's, almost March.
It's March, yeah.
Nick's going to do that for you for the month of June?
It sure seems like it, right? I mean, really does. What they have done,
You're locked
guys,
in.
how could you not be at this point in time? My friend Evan, who I wanted you to meet when we were in New York, but he couldn't figure out a clock and didn't figure out how to meet us. So he texted me yesterday, and we have not had this conversation, Tim and I, and we've known each other for 20 years. Now, I've had this conversation with you guys 1,000 times, and I haven't known you guys as long as I've known him. He texted me yesterday, he goes, the playoffs are just better with the Knicks in it. and he's a New Yorker. He's a Knicks fan, like more than I've ever been in my entire life. And I'm like, yeah, you're starting to see and understand what makes the NBA tick right now. And what the Knicks have done with these last 11 games where they've just beaten everybody by 30 points. I mean, it's been, it's been unbelievable. Now, Evan did say to me, he goes, is this the JV East that we're playing? I'm like, I don't know the answer to that question, right? I don't know if this is the JV East, even if it is the JV
It's
East.
both.
It is. And that's where I was going to go. It could be both, right? You don't beat teams by 30 because you stink and you're beating up on the competition because they're the JVs getting ready to go down to Cancun, right? You win by 30 points because you just absolutely have dominated the game. Your stars became stars. They had 6 guys in double figures last night. And once they went up by 20 so fast in that game. Jen looked at me, she goes, when did it get to be a 20-point lead? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I have no – like over 2 minutes, it became a 20-point lead last night, and they never relinquished that thing. And now they've got, a week off, guys, right? Because the finals don't begin until next Wednesday or something like that.
Like Game 5 tonight against Spurs Thunder.
Yeah.
That's probably going 7.
Yeah, the Knicks are going to be sitting around resting all this time, regardless of who comes out of the West. I mean, I know it starts in the West next week, and Game 3 is the first one back at Madison Square Garden, but I mean, the Knicks are going to have like a week now plus of sitting around resting and getting ready for this series. And they did for the Cavs as well and beat them by 30 points in every single damn game.
You know Drew Nixon?
Yeah.
So does Charles Barkley.
We'll break it all down when we come back. We're inside the NBA. They might have to go to Galveston, Drew. They quit us on this night.
Let's go, Drew.
Drew Nixon tweets at Charles Barkley last night. Where are the Cavs going, Chuck?
Going to Galveston, Drew.
Going to Galveston.
1, 2, 3, Cancun.
Let's go, Drew. Got a shout out by
That
the
was cool.
Chuckster.
Yeah, really good. I missed that last night. I went to bed early after the 30-point lead.
I can see Alex already. There's like a couple other Drew Nixons.
He was like, no, that's me.
That's awesome. Getting shouted out by Charles Barkley.
So cool.
How cool is that, right?
Shaq, where they going, Chuck? Chuck, where they going?
Nowhere. Where you going? Nowhere.
Yeah, they're going to Cancun, baby.
Dominant.
Cavs couldn't get out of there soon enough, right?
Quick list of things that didn't exist the last time the Knicks were in the NBA Finals.
Everything.
The iPhone, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, Tesla, SpaceX, Bitcoin,
Mac.
Gmail, Amazon Prime, Google Maps, Netflix streaming, Android, ChatGPT, WhatsApp, TikTok, Snapchat, Xbox, Pinterest, LinkedIn, iPad, Uber, Airbnb, Reddit, Spotify, Zoom, and speeding.
I mean, my God. Everything. Like literally
1994, I believe.
99 was the last year. Them and the Spurs. I wonder if we'll have a rematch of that one.
Yeah.
I hope.
I think that'd be a better matchup. Both would be great, but
my biggest fear of what this Royals season could be that we've already seen once in my lifetime, I'll explain. Speaking of 2009, I'll talk about that on the other side here. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Hey, it's Matt Quattrero, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends at Golden Oak Lending have done a great job for us over the last decade plus, and they're ready to help you as much as they've helped us. Because sometimes you get into those financial situations, right? Maybe you've got some credit card debt. Maybe you've got some home repairs that you need to get paid off. Maybe you're looking at a situation where you need some college tuition money, or maybe you're paying for a wedding. Whatever your expenses are, the folks over at Golden Oak Lending can help you get to the point where you can meet those expenses. And it all starts with that free mortgage checkup. It is risk-free. There's no paperwork or credit card required. It's just a simple phone conversation where you tell the folks at Golden Oak Lending where you are and what you want to accomplish. Then they get to work. They look for the best loan rate out there for you. Once they find it, they get you in that loan. And they're not going to get you in a loan if it's not a better rate than the one you're currently getting right now. And also, when you refinance, you go 2 months without having to make a mortgage payment. So you're talking the end of summer before you have to scratch that mortgage check. And the average cash-out customer saves over $1,100 per month with Golden Oak Lending. So get started with that free mortgage checkup. Risk-free, no paperwork, no credit card required. Just a simple phone conversation. 913-890-GOLD. That's 913-890-GOLD. And let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Jeff Briggs with Victory CDJR at the Legends. Once again, we are taking the hassle out of car buying with the Victory Scavenger Hunt. Folks, as always, our hunts are different. We put the price right at your fingertips with our Let's Do Business guarantee. Like walking up to select Ram 1500s, subtracting $18,000 from the sticker, and let's do business. It's that simple. Just visit VictoryMotorsKC.com and click on the large scavenger hunt banners directly on our homepage. That's VictoryMotorsKC.com, where our first price is better than their last.
Well, folks, I'll tell you, we're getting into that time of the year where you want your lawn to be awesome, and that's where it is for us right now. It is a level 10 for us. When I look at my yard, I think, I can't believe how far we've come and how bad it used to be. And then Aspen Lawn and Pest Control took over, and they took our lawn to a new level. They took it from weeds and dirt and just absolutely nothing and turned it into this lush, green, beautiful yard. It is absolutely amazing. Been out there the last couple of mornings, watering my yard, enjoying that yard, and looking at everybody else's and going, man, Aspen has made ours the best looking lawn on the block. And we've also now been able to enjoy that yard outside because with the mosquito dome over our house, we don't have to worry about those mosquitoes, those pests, those fleas, those ticks attacking us and attacking our dog. Our dog is safe in the yard, and so are we. So it's time for you to check out the Aspen team and let them take over your yard just like they did for us. They're going to give you a free estimate and up to half off your first application when you mention this ad. So visit them now at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Liberty Mutual customized this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu, well now you can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
Pool days call for cookouts and lots of laundry. This Memorial Day at Lowe's, save $80 on a Charbroil Performance Series 4-burner gas grill, now just $199. Plus, get up to 45% off select major appliances to keep dishes, clothes, and food fresh. Having fun in the sun is easy with us in your corner. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See associate or Lowe's.com for details.
Hi, folks. Bob from Blue Springs Ford. Hey, Blaine, my sister Kathy wants to buy a Bronco at an employee price.
What perfect timing, because right now Blue Springs Ford is giving employee pricing to everyone.
So what's the real difference in pricing?
2025 Bronco Sport starting at $29,000.
Wow, that's less than $30,000.
Up to $10,000 off MSRP on 2026 F-150s, and you get a lifetime powertrain warranty for free.
Folks, go to BlueSpringsFord.com right now, because this ends soon.
You know that Chick-fil-A sells more than chicken, right?
Hello, my name is Jaleesa, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit is how it's all of my favorite breakfast items in one good bite. That fluffy egg, that melty cheese with that perfectly grilled sausage. It just gives you that warmth, that comfort food that you love. It is the best possible option for a classic breakfast.
Comfort is calling. Order a Chick-fil-A sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit with Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
Pros, save more on the materials you need to get the job done inside and out at Lowe's. Right now, get 10% off in-stock Trex Naturals decking, now available in more styles. Plus, get 15% off select custom entry, interior, and storm doors. Then, we'll deliver it all straight to your job site to help keep your jobs moving. Get the brands pros trust, priced right, and ready when you need them. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a diamond sourcing expert, I'll tell you just how differently we source our diamonds so your engagement ring can be the most beautiful. We work directly with our diamond partners who reserve the best stones just for us. We handpick and inspect each diamond, then negotiate the best price. At Shane Company, we believe this is the only way to properly buy a diamond, because a friend goes the extra mile to make sure you get your dream diamond at your dream price. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by the Kansas City Auto Show, June 4th through 7th at the Overland Park Convention Center. Northland 35 southbound moving well. Trip from 152 into downtown is 12 minutes. The Kansas City Auto Show is back, taking over the Overland Park Convention Center with more brands, more test drives, free parking, and all new family-friendly features. Get your tickets now at kansascityautoshow.com. The Kansas City Auto Show, June 4th through 7th. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Here's the pitch. Witt hammers it down the left field line, headed for the Royals Hall of Fame, and gone! A go-ahead Bobby Blast!
What was so cool only lasted for so little. As Bobby Witt Jr. hit the go-ahead home run in the bottom of the 8th yesterday, a towering shot, I think 420-plus feet to left field. Crowd was electric yesterday. Obviously, the Yankees are in town, the holiday being yesterday, and what we thought was going to be a highlight to a game one of a 3-game series against the Yankees was not. As the Royals would end up losing it in the 9th, as in typical when you're down sort of fashion, a broken bat, bloop, or whatever it was over Bobby Witt's head, and then a line drive down the right field side that Jazz Chisholm knocks in the run, then they score again. Get the out at second. The Royals end up losing 4-3. They're now 22-33, 9 games out of first place in their division, 4 games in the wild card. So there is like a smidge ray of hope that you can have a not so good numbered win season, but somehow limp in. So 4 games, you don't want to get any further than that. Obviously, you almost at the June 1st cutoff line for a lot. Vern will join us in about 2 hours from now. But what I thought about this week, I guess I should say, because they won the series against Seattle. That was nice. 2 out of 3. You took 5 out of 6 from the Mariners. I don't know what they are. That division's kind of BBL stinky as well. The A's lead that division. I don't know if they're above 500 yet or not. They were 500 winning that division.
I know, it's weird.
That's why the American League is kind of weird. That's why I know there's a lot of people out there that will hate this, to think that there's still a hope that you can make the playoffs. You may not win your division, but with that wild card being 4 games out and you're 11 games under 500, that's still something that's bizarre to me. But what it made me think of this weekend is that we're going to have possibly another 2009 Royals season again.
Yeah, there's a good chance of that, yeah.
And I remember 2009 like it was yesterday, because I went to every game that Zach Greinke pitched at Kauffman Stadium, because he was on route to win the Cy Young Award with a 2.16 ERA, had one of the greatest pitching performance seasons I've ever seen, had a horrible record because the team couldn't win, right? The team was 65-97 that year. GM was Dayton Moore. Your farm director is your general manager now, which was J.J. Piccolo at the time. In fact, if you want to know some of the names that were on that list, Miguel Olivo was your catcher. Mm-hmm. Billy Butler was your batting average champion at 301. At first base, Alberto Callaspo.
He was around forever, that guy.
And he hit 300 that year. Alex Gordon would be plagued, I believe, with injuries that year. He only had 49 games that he played that year, so I believe the injury was an issue for Gordon that year. But Zach Greinke obviously had the year that was the Cy Young year in 2009. His WAR was 10.4. That led baseball. His ERA was 2.16. That led baseball. He threw 229 innings. He gave up 195 hits, which just amazing that year, right? His whip was just slightly over 1. It was 1.073. And that year, they didn't play for anything, but I remember that was must-see TV every night Greinke pitched, or if he was in Kansas City, the crowd would have a spike in sales. 25,000 people would just go watch Greinke pitch because he was doing something that they hadn't seen in a long time, and that's won a Cy Young for the Kansas City Royals. I feel like we're having a mirror image of that year with Bobby Witt Jr., because it seems, guys, that Bobby Witt Jr. almost every game does something, right? Whether it's a defensive play, whether it's 3 for 4 with a double, a single, and a home run, or whether it's a home run like yesterday in the bottom of the 8th inning to give your team that spark against the Pinstripes where you're like, all right, here we go. And unfortunately now, I think that with this season, the way that it's been played out, you're kind of seeing a similarity, even though it's not a pitcher, it's a batter, but it's like, well, I'm going to watch and see what Bobby does. I'm going to watch and see what Greinke does. And Bobby Witt Jr. leads all of baseball with a 3.4 WAR. It was a week ago, he was at 2.2 or 2.4, and then it was 2.8. Now he leads baseball in 3.4 with WAR. He has 63 hits. That leads the American League. He's hitting a cool 294, slugging a 481, and OPS of 841. Those, my friends, are MVP numbers. Bobby Witt Jr. is en route to win an MVP. And I feel like that's what this season is going to boil down to, is that can Bobby Witt Jr. win the MVP? Now, we can have the discussion about how Joe Burrow couldn't have won the MVP in the NFL because his team didn't win their division and they weren't a playoff team. How can you be a valuable player to that? Obviously, Zach Greinke won Cy Young with a team that won 65 games. I think baseball's different, right? When you have the statistics that really drive the sport, unlike football, where a lot of quarterback numbers are based on wins and results, whereas MVP can be based on solely numbers. I don't really understand how Aaron Judge is still the favorite. I mean, we can talk Aaron Judge if you want, but I mean, his WAR is 2.2. The only stat he leads in his AL division is runs scored at 41. He's hitting 250. He does have 17 home runs. That's normal. But the reason the Yankees are good is their pitching staff is just insane right now.
They're outstanding.
And they just got Garrett Cole back.
And they get Schlittler tonight.
That's right.
So be careful how you pronounce that name.
He's 6th in WAR.
He's pretty damn good, that Cam Schlittler pitching.
And he's the
tonight.
Cy Young favorite right now. Aaron Judge currently the favorite for MVP at minus 135. Bobby Witt Jr. at plus 350. That number is shrinking as the season goes on. Your other guys that are in the category are Yordan Alvarez at plus 650 and then Nick Kurtz for the A's at plus 1,000. But what Bobby's doing should be watched. And I feel like right now, if you polled 100 Royals fans and said, what's keeping you entertained with this sport? I believe the majority of people would say watching Bobby Witt Jr. do something that we haven't seen in quite a while, and that is, I don't know the last time we've seen a Royals player outside of Zach Greinke who has been individually the best player in baseball for a team that is not playing the baseball they should be playing. And so I think that what Bobby Witt Jr. is doing is what we saw Zach Greinke do in 2009.
What other, I hope with a different ending, but what else, and we'll get to that in a second, but what else would people say they're watching the Royals for at this point if it's not Bobby Witt Jr.? Because they're not giving us anything other than Bobby Witt Jr. And Bobby is I mean, it's just on another level. Watching the ESPN broadcast yesterday and hearing them just talk so glowingly about how great Bobby Witt Jr. is. You hope the organization wakes up and tries to get him some support and some players around him so we don't end up with him pulling a Zach Greinke and saying, I want to be traded. And ultimately, the Zach Greinke move was beneficial, obviously, for the franchise. And the only way that they could grow and get better as an organization was to use Zach Greinke as collateral and get players back in return. And then they set up their entire world championship team. I don't want to see it have to go that route here with Bobby Witt Jr. I want to see the Royals surround this guy with players and coaches that are on, you're never going to be on Bobby Witt's level, right? That's hard to do. Like, surround people that are on Bobby's level. Well, give me some people that are marginally close to where Bobby Witt Jr. is, right? Let him see a lineup where he thinks, oh, we've got an opportunity to win, or as of yesterday. I mean, like Bobby Witt Jr. did everything he could, and the manager cost him that game yesterday. I mean, that was a brutal display of managing, I thought, yesterday late in that ball game by Matt Quatraro. Like, Bobby Witt Jr. is must-see TV. I mean, the guy's amazing. I mean, he really is. And I've watched a lot of baseball my whole life, and the older you get, the more hardened you get on things. But this guy, to me, we're watching the best quarterback I've ever seen play in Patrick Mahomes. We're watching the best baseball player I think I've ever seen play in Bobby Witt Jr. right now, not named Shohei Ohtani, and he's in a different category, all on his own. And we've got to do a better job of surrounding Bobby Witt Jr. because he's playing at a level that is insane. It is obscene. It is nuts. It is crazy. It's every single time he's up, you're watching. It reminds me of when I was in St. Louis when Albert Pujols would come to the plate. I'd watch every single at-bat no matter what I was doing. And that's kind of where I feel like we are with Bobby Witt Jr. But the other 8 guys in the lineup, I don't really care to see. I really don't. And most of the pitching and the way that the game was managed yesterday, it's all taking away from this amazing season that Bobby Witt Jr. is having. And I'd love to see him get the MVP this year. I just don't know if he's going to get enough votes if this team continues to play the baseball that we've seen for the first 2+ months of this season, which is just, very below average baseball at this point in time. So Bobby is just incredible, guys. I don't think there's enough superlatives any of us can say about how great Bobby Witt Jr. is. And I think, quite frankly, when it's all said and done, not just the best baseball player we've ever seen, I think a lot of us will say that's the best athlete, professional athlete that I've ever seen play. He's quickly getting into that category. He's behind Patrick Mahomes at this point in time. But by God, man, Bobby Witt is flying up the charts of athletes that I've seen play where I just go, this is something special, man. This guy's awesome.
Yeah, he just gives you a lot of, to give it a cross-sport comparison, he gives you a lot of, Christian McCaffrey vibes. Like, he just can do it all and at an elite level. Like, McCaffrey could go out there and run the ball 5 times but have 10 catches for 125 yards and 2 touchdowns. Then the next week, he could have 5 catches for 40 yards but then have 13 carries for 110, and the speed and the athleticism and the awareness of, everything that's going on. And not only that, but with Bobby Witt Jr., we're also seeing with the lack of runs and the lack of hitting, the wasted opportunities that this pitching staff is giving the Royals. This comes from the guy's voice you just heard, Jake Eisenberg, via Twitter. The Royals rotation has delivered 8 consecutive quality starts over the last 9 games. That excludes Tuesday's bullpen game, though Falter, Avila, and Schreiber did complete for the de facto was 6 innings and 2 earned runs, which is obviously your quality start measurement. The rotation's last 8 starts, they've gone a 2.09 ERA, 51 2/3 innings pitched, only 12 earned runs. Wow. And
they've won twice. I mean, that's crazy, right?
And you see what happened yesterday, and I am kind of confused on the analytics of baseball when it comes to, does Chisholm get a double if Kaggs has his arm in right field? Yes, you want to see your closer be like, give me the ball as much as possible, because I don't know which side of the coin you're on, where Lucas Erceg obviously went in there on that Sunday, or not, was it Sunday's game against the Mariners, where he had thrown 35 pitches, and it was kind of a struggle to get out of that game, but he still got out of it. And then it was the very next day, he got the ball again.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just hindsight that gets people mad to be like, why'd you put Erceg out there? Because I've heard the argument before, let your closer pitch. He hadn't pitched in a while. Let him keep going out there. If he wants the ball, give him the ball. The adrenaline, what Erceg said. I effing love this blank, right? That's you.
But what he did on Sunday, those were hard pitches, right? Those were taxing pitches. There's a difference between going out there and having taxing pitches versus non-taxing pitches. And what he did on Sunday, they almost blew that game. We're sitting in the pool on Sunday watching that game, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, this was an 8-3 ball game. Now all of a sudden it's 8-6. Erceg's pitching close to 40 pitches. Those were high leverage pitches that he had to make because he had to find himself out of all of that trouble on Sunday. And then, and we'll get more into it, and I'll break it down coming up in our next segment a little bit more, but I mean, to take Lynch out of the game after just 7 pitches and go back to a guy who was taxed the day before in the 9th inning, I don't know how that makes any sense. It just doesn't make any sense to me from where I sit, especially with the lefties that were coming up. And you've got Lynch, who's a lefty savant out there on the mound, and you got 2 of your first 3 guys in the 9th inning are left-handed batters, and you're going with a guy who had high-pressure taxed innings yesterday. Again, that's managing with analytics. That's not managing with feel. You've got to have some sort of feel. You saw your guy go through it on Sunday. let's not put him back out there on Monday when we have a guy that's capable in Lynch of doing a lot of really good things. And
he was doing them 8 pitches. What it was?
7 pitches.
7 pitches. Yeah.
7 max. Just 7 pitches. God forbid he goes back out there. God forbid he sits back down and has to go back out there and pitch again in the 9th inning when lefties are coming up,
he
right?
had the command. Yeah, exactly. Lefties are on the way.
Lefties are on the way. God forbid he goes ahead and do something like that. Yeah, so, I mean, it is what it is, and that's ultimately why they ended up losing the game, overthinking. But I feel like the war on analytics is hot and heavy right now in all sports, man, especially in baseball, but in the NBA as well. I mean, people are coming fast when it comes to the analytics stuff right now in the NBA because of a coach that's just a moron. I mean, it's just dumb.
Again, Bobby Witt Jr. plus 350 to win the MVP. Judge minus 135. That tends to be the race right now. The Royals have now lost 12 in a row to the Yankees. So
2024, that Game 2 ALDS.
Yep. That's the last one.
Did you see Vahe Gregorian's column today in the Kansas City Star? It's actually one that I think a lot of people need to read, and it's going to hurt a lot of feelings, I'm sure. But it's basically said 2024 is a mirage of what we thought. And he's right about that. 2024 was a mirage. And we're seeing this ball club make hay, beating the White Sox 22 times over those last 2 years. And they've lost 20 of 21 regular season series against the Yankees, 24-6 in 3 games, or got blasted 24-6 in 3 games at Yankee Stadium earlier this season. And it's a whole story about how 2024, we thought maybe that this team was getting up to that level of the Yankees, but it really wasn't. It ended up being a mirage that year and probably set this organization back because they held on to guys, didn't make changes, didn't make trades. Maybe winning got in the way a little bit, as it should, of things like that. But I think we're starting to see now that this Royals team isn't anywhere near that team that we thought it was in 2024. And we let some wins against the White Sox and a series against the Yankees in the playoffs kind of cloud the future. And I think we're kind of paying for it right now. At least they are paying for it right now.
What are you guys more over, Vinny and Sal hitting 3 and 4 or Cole Reagans?
I'm more over Cole Reagans.
Tough.
Yeah, I'm more over Cole Reagans because I've seen Vinny and Sal do it, right? Sal's had a hell of a career. Congratulations yesterday. Most home runs now with George at Kauffman Stadium. He's getting closer and closer and closer to tying GB and passing him for the most home runs in franchise history. I saw Vinny do it for 2 solid years, right? Cole Reagans has done it, but Cole Reagans is always injured. And again, another injury setback with Cole Reagans. And those are the situations that drive me up a wall, is like when we start, Rashee Rice, for example, right? We start pining for these guys that are on the injury list because we think they're going to add this spark in, and they never get back to that level. And I think we're at that point with Cole Reagans right now. It was worth it to give him that contract extension. But now we're at a point where we're seeing this, and I've seen this 1,000 times in my career. Oh, it's just a little tweak to the elbow. We're going to give him a couple of days. Ends up being years. You never see that guy again. And so I think right now, from where I sit for my mental health anyway, Cole Reagans, I'm done. I've moved on. I have to move on from Cole Reagans. I can't sit here and wonder if he's going to come back and how it's going to affect the team, because there's a good chance, guys, by the time he gets back into this thing, we are further out of this thing than they are right now. I mean, they're 10 games under 500 at this point in time, and it's May 26th. And so by the time Cole Reagans comes back, it could be much worse, and it could be a season where you don't even want to bring Cole Reagans back.
I think it's just to the point now where it's just happened so much. It's now a problem because health is your number one attribute when it comes to being in a season of baseball. And it just hasn't been there for a full calendar year. I know this offseason we did the Instagram video of, would you rather have Reagans or Duran? And I think it was pretty much almost unanimous that it was like, let's keep Cole Reagans because you have a left-handed arm. He's your ace of your staff. Maybe last year, we saw the way the last year ended. He started, showing that velocity back. And then we hear in his rehab starting up to like 96, 98. And then the next day it was like, there's a setback. And it's like, I can only take so many setbacks before I have your back, if that makes sense. And like, unless he can go out there and do it and prove it, because the pitching staff doesn't need him right now, right? Like, I mean, yeah, you want your left-handed ace in there, but right now the pitching staff has been great. The problem is still the same problem it's been for the last 2.5 years. They can't score runs.
Can't score. And when you have an opportunity to trade from a strength and a surplus like they did with starting pitching this offseason, and you choose not to do that, Well, then here we sit. I mean, this is a bed that they made by themselves. You had an opportunity to trade Cole Reagans or Noah Cameron or Chris Bubich. You had an opportunity to move one of those three guys this offseason. I know you did. And you chose not to. And you didn't upgrade a weakness on your team. You stayed the same, and you didn't add any pieces. Lane Thomas and that other guy, they're not pieces that you added into the equation. They're Jags, man. They're just guys, and that's not making your team better. You replace the Jag with a Jag, right? That's just the way it goes. And the Royals didn't do anything to get better. They stayed the same, and their biggest offseason move, I think anyway, was hope. Hope that it's going to turn around. Hope that we're going to be able to hit with runners in scoring position. Hope that we're going to be able to drive, guys in with less than 2 outs. Hope that we're going to be able to get that guy in from third. Hope that we're going to be able to move runners over. And their biggest addition was hope. And it wasn't hope solo. It was hope in one hand and dump in the other and see which one fills up fastest. And that's what they're doing. And that's why, being a GM in any sport is very difficult. And you have to make these moves that are going to piss the fans off in the offseason, but are the right moves going forward. And trading Cole Reagans or Chris Bubich or Noah Cameron this offseason would have been a tough. People would have been mad. People would have been upset. I would have supported the move because you needed a bat. You needed an outfield help. And the guys you do have in the outfield, who's a regular everyday outfielder on this team right now?
I mean, it should be Cags.
Who it should be and who it is, right, Dusty?
I would say Isbell's probably an everyday center fielder.
He's getting close. He's getting close to play, but he's still not playing every day. They don't have one outfielder that is an everyday outfielder on this roster, at least that they're showing us is an everyday outfielder based on the way that they have put this lineup together. So you had an opportunity to trade from a surplus and starting pitching to get something you legitimately do not have on this roster based on the way you do your lineups, and you chose not to do that. I don't understand how you could look at a surplus of starting pitching and go, yeah, you know what? We're not going to give up any of these guys to get a starting outfielder. And that's what the Royals chose to do this season, and here we are. It's like somebody tweeted yesterday. It's like the definition of insanity. The same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And that's what this Royals offseason was. They didn't do anything different. They had an opportunity to get better, and they chose not to be a better ball club. That's their decision.
I know I don't know how to run a baseball team, let alone even try to think about it. But what I don't understand, which it literally puzzles my brain every day, is that this team is driven on analytics, but yet the same two guys hit 3 and 4 and they're not producing.
That's
but yet
exactly
they
right.
don't move those guys. So you can't tell me that you're doing things analytically, but yet the two guys that are barely hitting 200 continue to hit 3 and 4. And I know that they're the two most vocal people on your team. Salvador Perez and Vinny Pasquantino said names that I'm talking about. It's time for them to hit 7th and 8th. If you are 11 games under 500, let your future stars hit 3 and 4.
Or bench them.
Or bench them.
Bench them completely.
Yeah, completely bench them. I don't care. I don't want to hear, who are you going to put in there? That's the manager's job to figure that out, right?
Yeah, and to answer your question, that's what I'm more over. Like, the Reagans thing I can at least look at and be like, okay, well, it sucks. It's unfortunate. It's bad luck. And all of us sat here, like you said, Dusty, and said, no, Reagans, he's the ace. Keep him 28 years old, lefty, all those things. And, it didn't work out. It sucks. It's sports. With this, I'm watching it now for 50 games, to your point, not work. I'm seeing it. Change something.
I mean, at least Salvi yesterday had himself a decent enough day. And without him in the lineup, they don't score any runs except for the Bobby home run late in that situation. But Vinny's and I don't mean this in a negative way. He's showing up to the party late with a bag of melted ice. It's like, come on, man, you got to bring more to the party than the melted ice at 10 o'clock. Yeah, it's cold water. It'll be nice for some of the beers later or something, whatever. But he's got to come to the party with more. He's got to be delivering more. And, yesterday you had an opportunity to see your young guy deliver more in a late game situation, and you took him out of the lineup for a guy to roll over to shortstop again. And so I'm with Dusty 1,000% on this one. You sit here and you preach the analytics, but you're doing it half-assed. And that's the biggest problem in all of this. It's like they're dipping their toe half-assedly into analytics, and it applies to some people but not to others. Imagine going into your place of business every day and every single person had different rules. You didn't know what the expectation was. You didn't know what the situation was going to be, how it was going to present itself. And you really didn't know what you were supposed to do, because you look around this lineup and Kyle Isbell's going, I'm going 2 for 4 every day and I'm getting benched. These guys are going 0 for 7 with 6 strikeouts and they're still hitting 3 and 4. What kind of message is now being sent inside that organization? And that's why when you say this stuff out loud, none of it really makes much sense as to what they're doing, and that's why we find them 10 games under 500 and 9 or 10 games back in the standings at this point in time, because They don't know what's going on.
To give you some sort of fun light on the end of that conversation, the Knicks made the finals before Fernando Tatis Jr. hit a home run.
Holy cow.
So there's that. Coming up next, we get into our Tough Tuesdays on a Tuesday, 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Well, we just had the good folks from Window World out the other day because, well, our slider, kind of getting a little busted up a little bit with the dog running into the screen door every once in a while. And that's the beauty about Window World, is the fact that when something doesn't go right, they come out and they fix it for free because they have a warranty that is absolutely awesome. That lifetime warranty, it covers all parts, glass breakage, and labor. And the folks at Window World are unbelievable. They come out to the house and they are all there for you. What do you need done? What can we do to help you? We're all about you. And that's my friends at Window World doing it right here in Kansas City. Got a chance to hang out with them the other night at Dayton Moore's Foundation to see you in the major leagues. Top Golf Foundation, a big sponsor for them as well. So Window World is not only giving you great windows, they're also supporting the community too. And Window World windows are one of the 2 windows with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. That's why when we needed new windows, we made one call, and that was to Window World. Over 30 windows in our house from Window World. Not only the official windows of the Chiefs, but the official windows of the Fescoes as well. So give them a call today at 1-800-GET-WINDOWS. That's 1-800-GET-WINDOWS or at windowskansascity.com. It's 1-800-GET-WINDOWS. It's Window World.
Drew McIntyre here from WWE. Wielding the Claymore can be a life of chaos. When I'm not dominating in the ring, Chumba Casino is how this warrior takes a wee break. With hundreds of online social games and new weekly releases, there's always something fresh to try. And those daily boosts, next level. Even my free time feels like Valhalla. So when life feels like a battle, kick up your feet, have some fun, and let's Chumba.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See T's and C's. 21 plus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
You love your land. During Kubota Orange Days, you'll love all the great deals. With versatile compact tractors, professional-grade mowers, and durable utility vehicles, Kubota equipment can help you turn dream projects into reality. Kubota Orange Days is here, and so are the best deals of the year. Now through June 30th, get select compact tractors with 0% financing available or save up to $5,500. Sale ends soon. Go to KubotaOrangeDays.com or stop by your local dealer for more information.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code MONEY to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code MONEY to borrow up to $10,000. Use code MONEY to borrow up to $10,000.
Furnished by IntelliBrands. Whether because of discomfort, lack of mobility, your lifestyle, or occupation, you sit inactively way too many hours a day. Get an Ellipse, the premium quality automatic seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases mobility, and boosts circulation without physical strain or impact. Improve your flexibility and balance. Strengthen and tone your legs.
My joints feel better, my knees feel better, my back feels better, and it makes me feel stronger too.
My circulation is moving. I'm burning calories, and it makes me feel energetic.
It's so quiet that none of my coworkers even know I'm using it.
Call now and order Ellipse, the seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases mobility, and boosts circulation. And for a limited time, get a free upgrade to our deluxe bundle with a faster motor, sport mat, and wireless remote. Call 800-555-1212. That's 800-555-1212. 800-555-1212 now. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and you know baseball's back. BetMGM, the official partner of Major League Baseball, is bringing the high heat all season long. All season long, you can log into the BetMGM app and receive top-tier promos that put you in the batter's box and up the excitement for America's pastime. Step up to the plate all season with Swing for the Fences, the free-to-play game where every swing could score you rewards. We're talking parlay boost tokens, odds boost tokens, same-game parlay boosts, and even bonus spins all season long. And the action doesn't stop there. Get more out of every at-bat and every inning with MLB same-game parlay boosts. Stack your picks and boost your potential payout. Plus, lock in bigger value with MLB odds boost tokens and MLB parlay boost tokens all season long. More boosts, more swings, more chances to win. Download the BetMGM app and step up to the plate today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLERS. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. Existing customer offers subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com. Northland 35 southbound, off again, on again heavy from Vivian. It gets slower once you get down to Shoto Trafficway and crawls down to 29 merge with an accident reporting. Connolly Plumbing Solutions. Outside faucets are annoying. They're currently running their outside faucet replacement special of $399 with access. Visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com to schedule. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Back at it on a Tuesday. Unfortunately, on Tuesdays, it gets tough for some. Not for Mac and Bob. They have really nice Tuesdays.
I just want to win, Jen.
I've been pounded this week.
We had a great weekend. My daughter said she could no longer eat whipped cream because she saw it next to our bed over the weekend.
What?
BBL stinky.
Oh, God. Well, it was a beautiful game.
TMI, Bob.
Yep.
Hey, you wanted to know how the weekend was. Just giving you the honest truth.
No, we didn't.
Don't get to use that one.
No, we don't get to use that one enough at all. No, we don't. We went to the Rock Island Bridge over the weekend, too. Have you guys been down there yet and done that? It's outstanding. Is it is phenomenal.
Sweet.
Looks great.
Yeah, it is. It's great. My guy Jamie's running the bar down there, so it is fantastic. They have, and I found these over the weekend. THC quirks, baby. No alcohol, 25 calories. Let's go.
Hello, America.
Yeah, those are those type of drinks starting to sweep the world.
They really are.
They are everywhere.
They're everywhere now. Yeah, everywhere.
More and more people are kicking the booze and going for the buds.
Yep.
Mac, your name is first on Tough Tuesday, so go ahead and let Butthead lead the way.
You said it, man. He is Butthead. Chet Holmgren. And this is just a preempted Tough Tuesday, and it's also just for these first 4 games against the Spurs. He's got 45 points in 4 games. You've got as many turnovers as you have assists. You do not have one game with 10 rebounds. You're 7-2. You don't have a game with over 2 blocks. You have 2 games with a block out of the 4. You're an All-NBA defender. You're an All-NBA player this season, and you're shrinking. Your arch rival owns you. He is a better version of you. He's the upgraded version of you, and he's completely taken your identity and thrown it across the room and said, go get it, except he's got you on a leash, so you can't. He is your daddy, and you've got to do something, man. You've got to do something right now because this team needs you. SGA's got to step up as well, has not played as well as he could have either, but Chet Holmgren, my God, 45 points in 4 games. Jalen Williams, their second best player last year when they won the title, is already hurt. He's dealing with stuff. He's probably not going to be playing. Like this,
they
is
got a
your
couple
moment.
of injuries going into this game tonight against San Antonio, Mac,
Yes.
and I think what you're seeing is, and I'm going to assume that not Golden State, but Oklahoma City is younger than most teams out there, right? Pretty young basketball team.
Yeah.
What you're seeing now is a team that just thought, it was guaranteed that they were going to be back in the NBA Finals. And now they're getting challenged. And so it's going to be interesting to see how they come back up from the mat, as they like to say, because this thing, we're going to a pivotal game 5 tonight, guys. I mean, this is a huge game. in the Western Conference Finals. They always talk about whoever wins this Game 5 wins like 80% of the series or something like that. So pivotal Game 5 tonight. Stars, again, as we say all the time, need to be stars. And if Chet Holmgren isn't going to be a star, then that team ain't going to have an opportunity to beat San Antonio.
I died when they did the profile shot of him as Butthead.
Oh, it's so Butthead. He looks just like him.
I said that immediately to you and Drew, and I was like, I can't stop laughing at this image. I mean, it is dead on.
It is. It's fantastic.
Is Wemby's biggest rival Rudy?
I mean, it is. I mean, it was supposed to be Chet, but like,
it's not.
It's not.
It's not. You can look at Chet and be like, that's not happening.
But like, there's those videos of them in the high school tournament, and like Wemby's on the sideline after Chet wins the MVP and wins first place, and Wemby's screaming, ripping his jersey, like crying, how passionate it is. That's 5 years ago, and Wemby like has used that like an MJ thing of like, I'm gonna take that personally. You're my guy. I'm gonna beat you. And it's like he's already kind of.
Well, it's night and day.
He's climbed that mountain. He's conquered that. So yeah, he needs a new rival. I guess it's Rudy.
I mean, that's the defensive guy. That's the one that he stole the award from. They kind of battle every time they play each other, and then he kind of got the last laugh, right? Like,
yes.
When it comes to that, so I don't know, man. I don't want to be that guy, but I never thought Chet was going to be a great or even like a above average NBA player. He was super tall and lanky at Gonzaga. It worked in college. I was just like, this guy's going to get shoved around. Like, I don't believe this guy will put meat on his bones. I think Wemby will get a little bit bigger. I don't know how much bigger, but I think he'll get a little. I don't think he's going to blow up like Giannis did. But Giannis, you could kind of tell like it just needed to plump up, and then the strength was going to come, and eventually it did. But yeah, Chet sucks.
So let me ask you this though: other than Wemby, what big 7'6" guy has really been that dominating force in the NBA? Right? You think about Sean Bradley, you think about Manute Bol, you think about all of these huge, tall, thin guys. Other than Wemby, a lot of those guys just don't make it and don't have that production in the NBA because they realize they're not strong enough to play in the NBA when you're going up against guys like Wemby or Shaq back in the day. You know, imagine being Manute Bol or Sean Bradley trying to go up against Shaquille O'Neal back in the day, right?
Didn't work.
Wasn't going to happen. Wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, it didn't work.
I mean, Dirk was pretty skinny when he first started, and he was like a 7-foot anomaly that could shoot. And he had that release point where you just couldn't touch it. So he had that one sort of,
KD,
yeah. My Tough Tuesday comes from Tim Bontemps, or however you want to say his name on X. It's just anybody who played the Knicks in the last 11 games. So the Knicks have now outscored their opponents by 262 points across the last 11 games. That is the best point differential across 11 games in NBA history. Regardless of whether it's regular or postseason play, it's been an incredible month. It has been for said New York Knicks. You saw the celebration last night in Times Square. It was flooded. It looked like New Year's Eve. They win the title. We're going back to New York. That would be a scene that I don't know if anybody's ready for. Even New Yorkers.
No,
I don't know if they're ready for that. Because what you said 99 was 99. 09 was the last time they won a World Series for the Yankees. It's now been longer than that since they've even been in the finals. I saw when they went up 3-0, some fan bought courtside seats to Game 3, just being like, I'm doing it. I'm convinced. And I was like, please just do it because whatever it may happen. But now it's going to happen. We're going to get the finals in the Garden. I'm excited. But again, tough Tuesday to anybody who's played the Knicks in the last 11 games. 262-point differential, the most ever in any 11-game span in the history of the association.
Yeah, it's been an ass whooping, to say the least, what the Knicks have done over the last 11 games. All right, my Tough Tuesday goes to the Royals manager, Matt Quatraro. And for all of those who say, what would you have done? I would have left Daniel Lynch in the game going into the ninth inning. But where do we begin? First of all, he pinch hits for Jack Caglione in the eighth inning yesterday. Got a couple of guys on, right, in that game yesterday late. It's a big situation. You have the lead. You're up 4-3. Why not let Jack Caglione hit in that situation? There was no reason to take him out of that game in the bottom of the eighth inning to allow Damaso Marte to roll one over to the shortstop and end the inning. That would have been a good opportunity to put your top player, your top prospect, if you will, in a situation that was tough, but also in a situation where you had the lead. So it was a great opportunity to allow Jack Caglione to hit in a tough situation late in the game against a lefty. Like, actually give the gentleman some experience doing real-life activities instead of pulling him out of the game and putting Damaso Marte in there to roll out to your shortstop. Then you have the trickle-down effect. Daniel Lynch pitched 7 pitches, looked great in the eighth inning. 2 of your next 3 batters that are coming up for the Yankees are left-handed batters. So what does Q do? Takes out the lefty who threw 7 pitches, puts in a guy who closed out the day before with almost 40 pitches of high-leverage pitches that looked gassed on Sunday, put him back out there for the 9th inning the next day, promptly got lit up, and the Royals end up losing the game. Now, they end up losing the game also because why did they lose the game? Well, a big reason is you took Kaggs out of the lineup. So now you had to have a subpar right fielder in there. Jazz Chisholm rips one down the line in right field. If Kaggs is there, that's probably a single because of his arm. Jazz is not testing Kaggs' arm. But also the trickle-down effect, because you moved Kaggs out of the outfield, you had to put Salvi at first. Took Vinny out of the lineup at that point in time. Oh, Salvi has one go right by him that if Vinny was in the lineup with his left-handed abilities and the glove on the right hand, maybe he catches that ball. And so now you've got a situation where the Q manager Q, legitimately just absolutely bungled the 8th and 9th inning yesterday as the manager and did not give his team a chance to win and gave him an opportunity to lose. And the big one is for me, and I tweeted it before the game was even over and the loss. You had a situation where you had an opportunity for Kaggs to get real-world experience in a tough situation, and you didn't let him have that experience. How's he ever going to be able to come up in big moments if every big moment you're telling him you're not good enough to participate in these big moments? Go back to the JV squad.
That is a tough Tuesday here on Fescoe and Dusty with Mac Morey as well. Hey, stick with us. We'll be right back here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Well, we just got cued again.
Hey, it's Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Spring is here, and as the weather heats up, the sports action heats up at Circa Sports. From baseball to basketball, hockey to golf, Circa Sports has it all. Circa Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Whether you're looking for playoff futures or props on your favorite players and more, Circa Sports has you covered. Download the Circa Sports app or visit circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Baseball season is in full swing, and that means the summer heat is coming. The guys at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years, and they know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830. 816-265-2830 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
The Kansas City Auto Show is back, and we're taking over the Overland Park Convention Center with more brands, more test drives, free parking, and all new features. Join us June 4th through 7th at our exciting new location at the Overland Park Convention Center. Get up close to the latest cars, trucks, and SUVs. It's fun for the whole family. Don't miss your chance to see your future of driving all in one place. Get your tickets now at kcautoshow.com. The Kansas City Auto Show, June 4th through the 7th at Overland Park Convention Center.
When Bill Lambert started Midwest Heating, he realized something very quickly. The most important thing a customer can give you isn't their money, it's their trust. I'm Airman for Midwest Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Midwest and Lennox are now offering up to $1,400 rebates on high-efficiency home comfort systems and 0% 60-month financing with approved credit on these qualifying Lennox systems. Every day, we strive to meet the highest standards in the industry, yours. But we are human. If we make a rare mistake, we make it right, and right away. That's what Bill instilled in all of us. Now, the third generation stands on the shoulders of the past, improves on it, and passes it on to the next. Give us the chance to earn your business. Just dial 943-8787 or go to MidwestHeating.com. Trust your air to the best. Midwest Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Rob Sight Ford, KC's Ford volume leader and top rated on Google. 135th and State Line. Rob Sight Ford, your 2025 Ford volume leader. Top rated on Google with 4.8 stars and 3,000 plus reviews. The best selection, best prices, and Kansas City's best customer service. Visit Rob Sight Ford at 135th and State Line. Buy right, save big, and drive home a winner. Only at Rob Sight Ford.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Northland 35 southbound gets heavy at Vivian, stays off again, on again, pretty heavy into the 29 merge with an accident reporting lane blocked with police on the scene. 635 southbound, heavy approaching 9 highway with a stalled in the area. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
The 5th annual Cody and Gold Garage Sale is back Wednesday, June 10th, with all auction items benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Back at it here on 96.5 The Fan. Wonderful Tuesday. Looks like a high of 84. Okay, good day to do a lot of outside stuff. Did you guys all mow this weekend like everybody else?
A lot of mowing going on. We had some guy already made Richard of the Week for Friday. 7:30 Sunday morning, he's out there mowing on a holiday week. It's 7:30 the morning,
Damn
man.
right, Bob.
I mean, my God, 7:30.
Yeah,
at least you got to give it at least till 9, especially on a Sunday like that.
Well,
now, during the week, I don't mind, but
I was just saying, like, especially when it's a holiday weekend, and it's not like it's going to be like 96 at noon. Like, I won't get mad at anybody that mows at 7:30 in the middle of August, which we won't because there's no rain. But, like, if it's going to be like 91 at 11 o'clock, I'll let you get out there at 7:30.
That's exactly right. Something like that is fine, but this was not. No.
Shout out to Andres, by the way, a guy who's mowing for some company across the street, mowed my whole yard for free.
Why?
He helped me fix my lawnmower because it wasn't working, and it was like, he's like, too long, grass is too long, man. And he was like, oh, just come cut it for free. I was like, I'll pay you, no worry. And like,
so he had like a big, he had
his ride mower, and it was small enough to get into my backyard too. It was just one of the stand ones.
Right. So you let it go a little bit too long, where the push mower was gonna. Yeah, I get you.
It was going out, and I was struggling there. And so I asked him, I was like, hey, man, can you just mow this part of the front yard? It's just this little section. Like, I'll pay you. He's like, oh, no, I'll do it for free. And so I was opening my gate to just go in my backyard, mow the back, and struggle back there. He just rides his mower back there. I was like, oh, dude, you don't have to do this. Or, like, I'll pay. He's like, no, man. Did the whole thing.
Nice.
So I have to ask, was Mac Morey, the growing boy, getting frustrated with the lawnmower?
So it already had broken down on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up Saturday morning, go back at it. It's just like, that whole thing. I'm like, dude,
did you change the air filter?
No, I didn't do that.
Let's try changing the air filter. Let's look at the spark plug. Like with
I just got this lawnmower.
Oh, you did? Is it new?
It's new to me, and I
Okay.
knew all the things. Like those things are good to go. So I like didn't click the red button, things like that. Should have done that. Whatever. But
But sometimes if the grass is too long, it doesn't get enough air into the carburetor to get the gas kicking in, so you have to lift up the mower a little bit to let the air circulate.
I was going to have to
lift it up, let it breathe, push it.
You got sling blade over here.
I know. I'm like,
ain't no gas in
okay,
it.
Understood.
Yeah.
Do you mow your lawn? Yeah, I don't even think.
Yeah, no, I don't now. Aspen takes it, but I know how to operate a lawnmower. Yes, I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
I know. When
I'm
it's,
not either.
I know when it's gasping for air, you pull it back,
Yes.
you lift it up, let it get its air going. Push it a little bit more. You waited too long to mow the grass. That's a you problem, not a lawnmower issue. And so you've got to mow it every single week or something like that, especially when it's raining. Otherwise, it does. It gets too long. It all jams up.
How about bulldoze?
I mean, and then you're screwed, you know?
Mm-hmm. Ain't got no gas in it. He's a genius, this Carl. This is the Royals manager. I'm telling you what to do.
We love playing in front of our fans, and I know it's been a tough go. The last series wasn't any fun for us, but for the fans, stick with us. I mean, we're going to be better. These guys are conscientious about what they do and work extremely hard, and we hope to play well in front of our fans so that they feel good about who we are.
Stick with us.
Stick with us. We're going to get better. Based on what? I hate when people tell fans to stick with us. It's going to get better. Fans have been sticking with this team for 50 years now, too, right? Like, I know they're kind of a new regime here in Kansas City. They're really not a new regime. JJ's been here forever. And, Q obviously has been here now for, 4 years? This is his 4th season managing this ball club. So it's still fairly new. But fans have been dealing with this same old with this organization for 50 years. I mean, what do we say? They've had 3 playoff appearances since 1986, 14, 15, and 24. They're 10 games under 500 right now, getting, motorboated by every team out there. They're not playing good baseball. They're doing, other than Bobby, nothing is inspiring whatsoever on this team. And to have a manager like that say, stick with us, that's really patronizing your fans. And I know just by looking at some comments and talking to some people over the weekend, those comments don't sit well. They really don't. Like, this organization's fan base has the patience of Job, as my wife likes to say. This fan base has been patient with this organization over generation after generation after generation. And I think the fans are to the point where they're tired of being patient for this ball club to figure out and turn it around. They're tired of being patronized, and they're also tired of hearing, stick with us, we're going to turn this thing around, and it's going to get better. Well, actions speak louder than words, and you're not turning it around. You're not playing better baseball. And to tell fans to stick with you, I mean, that's just that's a hollow rhetoric that is coming from the manager of the Kansas City Royals at this point in time. Fans have stuck with this team, and fans have been very positive about this team up until now when the results have warranted.
This comes from Shrey on X, rolling the record back or breakdown. The last 51 games entering the 2020 or the entire 2026 season, they're 20-31. This is before yesterday's loss. Now they're 22, or I guess this was a couple days ago. Now they're 22-33. The last 100 games, 43-57. Last 162 games, so one full season's length, they're 74-88, and their last 200 games, they're 94-106.
Mm-hmm.
What does he need to do to give you some sort of okay, now he's adjusting?
Who you're talking about? Quatrero, the manager here? Yeah, let Cags hit in situations where he took him out of yesterday. Like yesterday, that situation where they took Cags out, that hinders Jack Caglione more than they can ever imagine because you're not giving that guy a chance to get better. You're not allowing him to go out there and take his lumps. So what if he made it out? Because that Damaso Marte guy came in there and rolled the ball to shortstop. He didn't do anything. And then you took Cags' defense out of the game in a one-run ball game late, close and late. You've got to find ways to win these games, especially when you're going to go to a closer who was rocky the day before. So you were going to a closer that was rocky the day before. You didn't let a young guy learn and be in a tough situation. Taking him out of the lineup in the 8th inning prevented his defense from being out there in the 9th inning. It was just a very bad managerial decision all the way down. And yeah, the results obviously dictate the way we feel about those moves. But we felt about these moves. We're blue in the face talking about the same stuff. Let Cags play, move Vinny down to 7, keep a steady lineup, stop using analytics all the time, manage with feel a little bit, put guys in position to be successful. I mean, what they did to Cags yesterday, that's one of those big-time moments, man, that I look back and I go, damn, how is this kid ever going to get better? how's he ever going to achieve greatness or to achieve a good level of play at the big league level if they're not giving him those opportunities? They're telling him, every time they do that to him, they're telling him he's not good enough. And that, with the mental health that we have in this country now, and everybody understanding how important mental health is, imagine doing something all the time, and then when it comes down to the most important part of the day, your boss tells you you're not good, we're going to get somebody else in there, and that person isn't any better than what you are.
This was Q yesterday on that move.
Matt, how hard or how easy is it to make that decision to put in Tyler for Vinny in that situation to run?
Yeah, I mean, we're going for a run there. We're trying to add on for the exact reason of what ended up happening. You know, I mean, you try to get away from a team as much as you can. And obviously we love Tyler to steal. You know, we didn't end up punching the run across, but, you know, to me that was a no-brainer.
Including with considering what Vinny might be able to do on the field when he...
Yeah, I mean, we considered all of that, you know, and it's absolutely...
So that was Vahe Gregorian asking Q the questions about Tyler Tolbert coming in for Vinny Pasquantino and having what Vern always says, have the backup question for when they do answer you, what you can say next. So then it's like, okay, well, what happens if he hits in the 9th? Well, darn. Sometimes you just outsmart yourself and it doesn't work that way.
Well, that's, too much thinking.
I would just like to see some stuff change. And
what would you like to see?
I would like to see the kids get a chance. You're 11 games under 500. You're 9 games out of 500. It's almost June 1st. Let the kids play. Let them hit 3 and 4.
Yeah.
You might as well, because what's happening right now is not working. And it's not me being a biased Cags fan or a Carter Jensen fan. It's just that, you know what? Vinny's hitting 197. Salvador Perez hitting 203. Cags hitting 240 plus. Carter's hitting 2 whatever. They at least have done something this year, whereas it's been 55 games. And I've seen enough at 3 and 4, and every single day it's 3 and 4. But yet Cags can't play in the outfield. We're talking about Cags' arm now. We're not even just talking about his bat. We were talking about his, Titantron power, his size, everything. And now we're taking the 105-mile-an-hour arm out of right field, which can strike fear in people's heads.
Jazz has a single yesterday of Jack Cagliano's playing right field. You didn't only remove him to allow some washed-up veteran to hit. You then removed him and screwed yourself by not having your best defenders out there in a one-run game late. Like, that's baseball 101. I guess there's not a computer program for that.
Don't forget, this year we partnered with KCUC, who is donating $50 to the Prostate Cancer Foundation. For every home run the boys in blue hit this season, 1 in 8 men will face prostate cancer. Early detection saves lives. At KCUC, Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. You see the best in KC. Scheduled today at kcuc.com. Coming up next, more Rashee Rice conversation, plus Mac Morey leads it away with one word here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Fescoe and Dusty.
Every Hardee's is closed. Well, that's dog.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
FanDuel is serving up a happy hour every day during the playoffs. We're talking those special drops you won't want to miss, from profit boosts to bonus bets and more. And the best part, it's every single day. Just head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. Maybe you want to look at series pricing, and instead of betting an individual game, you want to be able to go and bet overall how many games a particular playoff series is going to go, or who could end up with the most points during that series. You name it, you can check it all out on the FanDuel app and use some of their trends and research tools that are right there in the app. So whether you're betting the early game or gearing up for prime time, make sure you open the FanDuel app and see what's waiting for you today. Go to FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA and the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Opt-in required. Rewards are not withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
As a paramedic, do you recommend seatbelts?
I'm definitely an advocate for seatbelts.
Why?
When you're in a wreck, the seatbelt immediately will lock you in place and hold you exactly where you are. And if the vehicle rolls, spins, or just sustains a lot of force, you're going to stay right where you are, protected and cushioned. That's how they're designed.
But it's my choice if I wear one. You can't make me.
It's your decision, but you're going to see me if you decide to not wear your seatbelt, and it might not be a good situation for you.
Always buckle up. A message from the Kansas Department of Transportation and your local law enforcement community.
Get everything you need for the entire job delivered. From lumber to drywall, flooring, and fixtures, get it all delivered from the Home Depot. With same day, next day, or any day delivery. Staying on track and on time is crucial to your job. That's why it's our job to get you what you need when you need it. We deliver the supplies. You deliver the results. Brought to you by the Home Depot.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
You've heard Cody and I talk about our friends over at Centric, and they're gearing up for an AI sales event on Thursday, May 28th.
They'll teach you how to use AI as a daily sales assistant, draft emails, prep calls, maybe do prospect research, strengthen follow-ups, or even apply AI to help you analyze deals and pipelines. They can do all of that over at Centric.
They'll even help you build repeatable AI sales workflows that support your daily selling activities. So take part in the AI sales event over at Centric, Thursday, May 28th. Go to Centric.com.
Dispatch, this is Mindy at CM Moes & Son. Coming to terms with a dying ACE unit is tough. If you need to replace your AC, visit cmmosandson.com to schedule your free estimate. CM Moes & Son. License 202919. Terms and conditions apply.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Northland 35 southbound, much better, approaching the 29 merge. That earlier accident has cleared, no delays from 152 all the way into downtown. Lee Summit US 50 westbound, slow rolling from 3rd Street to 470. Kansas side 635 southbound, slow from Shawnee Drive to I-35. Alan Carr, 96.5 Fan traffic.
Rolling along on a Tuesday as we approach the 7 o'clock hour now. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Enjoy your short week. I think most people should have a short week. As Monday, the holiday. Hope everybody had a good Memorial Day weekend. So one of the questions that we saw around the NFL world is, I believe I saw this from our guy Dove Kleinman. We're now, as of this week, 14 weeks away from NFL Sunday. Or Tuesday or Thursday.
Depending on the day of the
Friday.
week, yeah.
But either way, 14 weeks away from the opening of the NFL season.
Ooh.
Which
nice.
in the words of Kenny Chesney, don't blink. It'll be opening week before you know it. We'll be talking parlays and max pack and all that sort of good stuff. But something that a lot of people were talking about this weekend was the Rashee Rice situation that continues to be a question for the Royals or the Chiefs. And that is, what do you do after this year? We all know that Rashee Rice is going to play for the Kansas City Chiefs this year. We know he's going to be a receiver on this team. They're not going to move on from him, even though he is, serving some time for failing a drug test of marijuana. But Albert Breer says, I think they probably handle him like Dallas handled George Pickens. Let's tag him and let's see. That was Albert Breer regarding the Chiefs and Rashee Rice on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Leads to the question, do you do that with Rashee Rice, or is it this year and good riddance?
Sometimes I wonder what things people watch, right? Like, what game are you watching tonight? What game are you watching right now? Are you watching the same thing that I'm watching right now? Because as far as I'm concerned, franchising Rashee Rice and committing any sort of money to Rashee Rice is something that would be foolish by the Chiefs. He has shown he's a good football player, but he has also shown he can't survive off the field. He makes mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. And if you give somebody the franchise tag, regardless of if it's for 1 year or if it's for, 5 years, you're still committing money to this individual at $20-some million, right? That's a $20+ million automatic commitment that you're giving to Rashee Rice if you sign him to that franchise tag. And based on his situation and where he's been in life, he's probably signing that franchise tag. So you're like $23 million in on Rashee Rice. Do you feel good about that? If you franchise him in March, that he's going to be there in September for you to take the field? Do you believe that Rashee Rice is going to be able to stay out of trouble off the field? He has shown us his body of work, and his body of work so far has shown he's not capable of staying not in trouble off the field. He's not capable of doing what he needs to do to be a nice, normal adult off the field. Why am I going to franchise tag him? What I would do for Rashee Rice is pretty simple. Here's the deal, fella. Here's what we're going to do with you. We're going to offer you the league minimum for a fourth-year wide receiver, and we're going to load you up with incentives. We're going to have roster bonuses. We're going to have catch bonuses. They're all going to be incentives that are easy to reach. And if you show up and play, most likely you will reach all of these incentives. But we're flipping the onus back on you. We're not investing any money whatsoever. So if we give him the league minimum for a fourth-year wide receiver, probably about $500,000 is what that league minimum will be. Now that's what you're investing in Rashee Rice. $500,000 or $600,000. It's not a lot of money.
It looks like.
Is it 1.2? Either. Yeah. Okay, fine. $1.2 million invested in Rashee Rice is a lot better than $25 million with the franchise tag. And that's what I would do. And if somebody wants to pay this guy and give him a long-term contract, by all means, go ahead and do it. Because I'm not comfortable investing any money right now into Rashee Rice until he can prove that he can be an adult off the field. And so that's where my contract would be with him. You can stay here, league minimum, and a lot of incentives that can get you up to about $20 million a year. But the onus is going to be on you to show up, to make plays, and to do your job, and to be an adult. And if you do all that, you'll reach the majority of these incentives, and you'll walk away with a nice chunk of change. But I am not guaranteeing this guy any sort of money, fellas.
What do you believe in more? Cole Reagan stays healthy or Rashee Rice stays out of trouble?
Neither.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard to say,
I know. I guess... Yeah, I guess I'll go Rice because he can change. Like, Reagans can't control it.
Reagans can't control, but can Rice? I mean, he's had these opportunities, Mac, and he's still finding himself.
Can he? Yes, is the answer.
Will
but
he?
Obviously, yeah. Will he? No, it doesn't look like it. No, not right now. But no, I mean, also, like, from a football perspective, like, I think Rashee Rice is an absolute stud, and, like, I think he's great. But how great is he? Is it over a whole season? Is he a 1A? Is he a 2B? Like, what is Rashee Rice? We still don't fully know. And last season, like, you kind of throw that all away because when he came in, like, yeah, he was great for a few weeks, and then the team completely went to crap. Right. And I'm not going to put that all on Rashee Rice. So again, you kind of throw out last year, and then of course the injury before that of him missing games, and then his rookie season, he didn't really get going till halfway through the year. So I need to see, okay, Travis Kelce's now 36 years old. We know he's not going to be our number one option and go-to guy. Can you be that in an offense like this? Yes, obviously we'll have a great, hopefully 1,200-yard rusher in Ken Walker. But other than that, are you going to be that 1,200 to 1,400-yard receiver for 17 games who Mahomes can trust? I think the answer is yes, but I still have to see that before I even start talking about a contract. Forget the off-the-field stuff. But yeah, franchise tag, hell no. That was $27 million for George Pickens. I ain't spending that.
I'm not spending that kind of money.
And that's only going.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's only going to get higher, but I would not hesitate to give it to somebody who has deserved it, who has earned it, who has shown that if I invest in you, he's still going to go out there and earn that money. It's one of the hardest things that general managers talk about is giving somebody that long-term deal and making sure that they're going to still go out there and earn that money and earn that deal as they continue to go forward instead of just sitting back and getting fat and happy. Rashee Rice has shown nobody that he's even capable of getting a deal like that because he has shown that he's not a reliable player. And if the Chiefs were to invest long-term into Rashee Rice, after this season, I would probably question that and go, are you really sure this is money wisely invested into a player? You can find another wide receiver. Now, to Mac's point, we don't know who the number one target is going to be after this season because there's a good chance both Kelsey and Rice are no longer part of this equation. That's why I have always been on trade for George Pickens, trade for A.J. Brown, get that guy that's quote-unquote available now in here, sign him to a longer-term contract, and then you have your number one in place moving forward. Because I don't think you can rely on Rashee Rice to be your number one, and if you are, then we're basically doing what the Royals are doing and relying on something that's not real.
I think the best thing that the Chiefs can have is Rashee Rice go out there and absolutely just shred the competition this year. Because then you will have that, I want everybody to remember, I guess I could say, remember March 26th, because that's where we're at today, having this conversation. If Rice goes out there and has what Mac has, advocated for, maybe 95 and 1,300 and 8 touchdowns, right? That's Pro Bowl caliber numbers. That's going to be a solid year for a wide receiver in the NFL, no matter who you play for or what position of receiver you play. That's a great year.
Yep.
And it's a contract year. So, that's the best thing the Chiefs could hope for because it will help them out on the field and then situationally off the field. Now, a lot of people will be out there and say, hey, don't burn me on the contract here. We've seen this before. Plus, we know you guys may not want to sign him with all his off-the-field troubles, but we've also seen the NFL acts like they care about that stuff, but they really don't. They'll give a guy another chance in another area. I mean, Miami was like, Tyreek, come on over. We got Jalen Waddle. We got you. Let's see how neither one are there anymore. But they still paid and gave the chance. We've seen that with Antonio Brown in the past.
Sure.
Hey, the Raiders, we'll take you. Fine, you're a stud receiver. We know you're crazy, but hey, come play wide receiver for us. Tampa Bay did it too. Then he took his clothes off, gave the peace sign, walked out of the Meadowlands. So I think that's not going to be as severe of an option when you think about what the Chiefs could do. But if he goes out there and plays and they use him to that ability, do it like the Royals did with James Shields. We know this is our last year with you. We're going to use every single fiber and DNA that you have in that arm to just get us to where we need to go. And then after that, we can move on and adjust to what we are in the future. That, to me, is the Chiefs' plan this year with Rashee Rice. Go out there, use him, abuse him, put him on the field as much as you can. I don't care if you're up 35-0 in the second half. Leave him on the field and let him get his numbers up because then he becomes that more attractive and that more sellable in the future. And I don't need to have him back because a lot of people will switch places. I know they will. They'll say, well, if he's got it, he stayed out of trouble all year. He's deserved it.
No.
Well, what about the other 3 times outside
That's
of
right.
the one time that you saw? So,
fool me once, fool me twice. You know
Correct.
what they say. This guy has a track record of being, not correct off the field.
He's not reliable.
He's not reliable, right? And so even if he does get out of prison and he comes back and he plays well and has a good season, to Dusty's point, let's not let a good season blind us of the reason why we're having these conversations. We've had Rashee Rice conversations not because of how good he's been on the field or could be on the field. We've had these conversations wondering whether or not he's going to be on the field. And when that's the biggest thing that you're talking about with a player, I just don't see how you can invest long-term in any sort of way in that player after the season, regardless of what he's done. Because as we know, he's got the ability to play big. He's got the ability to do great things. He doesn't have the ability to be a general member of society. And that's where I am with Rashee Rice.
Sorry to the smartass texter, May 26th, not March 26th. You are not listening to a rerun. But for the first time in 27 years, the Knicks are going to the NBA Finals. This comes from Sam Block. Before we get into one word with Mac Morey, Indiana won the national championship in football. Sam Darnold won the Super Bowl. The Knicks are in the NBA Finals. His advice, apply for your dream job, buy your mom a house, hit up your crush. 2026 is the year to just go for it all.
That's exactly right.
I love it. Heck yes.
One word.
First name is blank, and he goes on a cruise. He goes on a Caribbean cruise.
Katie Holmes.
No. Ah!
Are you listening?
What's your least favorite thing about working with yourself?
Body odor. You get one word.
On the count of 3, name your favorite dinosaur. 1, 2, 3. Velociraptor.
This is one word on Fescoe and Dusty.
1, 2, 3.
Oatmeal raisin.
Don't forget it's one word and it's a Tuesday, so it's brought to you by Maloney's. You can go there and get tacos, burritos, $4.50 Mexican beers and margaritas, and $6 double margaritas at Maloney's on a Tuesday, where they have delicious food, cold drinks, TVs galore. You can see all your teams play. You got 7:30 Spurs and Thunder, 6:40. Those Yankees who haven't been beaten by the Royals since 2024. Make sure you go do that and have a few Mexican beers at $4.50 or a margarita plus $6 margaritas and tacos and burritos as well at Maloney's on a Tuesday. It is one word, Mac Morey.
How about it? We were talking about the Knicks sweep the Cavs, 11 wins in a row, the hottest team in the NBA, one of the hottest teams, maybe point by point differential, the hottest team we've ever seen in the NBA playoffs. Drew got a part of the show last night with Charles Barkley. This is it.
We'll break it all down when we come back. Drew inside the NBA. Drew, they might have to go to Galveston, Drew. They quit us on us tonight.
Drew tweeted it inside the NBA, and Charles Barkley talks back to him and says, hey, I think the Cavs are going to Galveston. One word there on the Knicks.
Yeah, on the Knicks, insane. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. 11 in a row now that they've won. They're beating teams by 20 and 30 points on the reg, taking care of business. I mean, it's just insane. It's wild right now to watch a team be that efficient in what they do. I mean, they're just stunning to watch right now.
Fun for basketball. You have the New York, everything about it. The stars at courtside, everything that comes with it. Jalen Brunson's in his NBA era right now.
He really is. Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be able to do anything wrong at this moment.
Yep.
And they fired Tibbs, brought Mike Brown in.
Mike Brown, MVP.
And if they don't win the finals, does Mike Brown keep his job?
Yes.
913-586-7965.
The Skankies, they got a win yesterday. The Royals got a win versus the Mariners, but weren't able to get it done against the Yankees yesterday. 3-2. Heartbreaking loss, or 4-2 with Ursack coming in. No, 3-2.
4-3.
4-3. Yeah, there's something like
4-3, 3-5, 5-3. I don't remember.
Nixon 4.
What the hell was that? Yeah, they lost.
Ursack came in and gave up 2 runs and gave up the lead in the top of the ninth. One word on the Royals there.
BBL stinky is the word that I will use on
BBL
that one.
stinky.
in so many different ways. Not enough offense again, obviously. Bad managerial decisions late in the game. Players not getting the job done. It was a collection of everything that came to a head yesterday in that loss to the Yankees.
Daddy would be my one word. Remember when Pedro said that back in the day? Maybe the Yankees are just my daddy. It seems like the Yankees are the Royals' daddy because I effing hate the Yanks, man. I watched them sweep the Royals in New York, and they won that game in classic Yankee form. A bloop, a line drive down the side, and then game over. So, yeah.
I have great fears of the Skankies.
2024, Game 2 ALDS, the last time the Royals have beaten the Yankees. That was not the only bad news for the Royals. Matt Cotrero had words on Cole Reagans. Looks like he's going to be out for a minute.
He did not recover well from his start yesterday, so he's going to be shut down for a couple days, no throw, and hopefully very similar symptoms to what he had before, so hopefully they resolve in a couple days and we can resume throwing. No, he felt really good pitching, never had an issue with it, and then came yesterday, or woke up yesterday, traveled back here, and then wasn't feeling great.
One word.
Baseball. That's my word right there. That is as baseball as you can get. It's just one of those things where sometimes guys just aren't healthy. And sometimes guys will never be healthy. And maybe that's where we are with Cole Reagans. He just ends up being one of these guys that we got a little bit out of. But at the end of the day, we're going to be looking at him going, damn, what could have been with his Major League Baseball career.
Yeah, Reagans is just, man, hard, right? And not in the way that I normally use it. It's just hard to see this, man. They gave him the contract. I tried to say that the injuries were early in his career. Last year we had the injury. This year it's been nagging nonstop. We thought it would be a start, maybe 2, he'd get back out there. And to hear those words of Matt Cotrero say, yeah, he pitched, and then when he came back, he started to feel it, which means his body's reacting to what his body did the day before, and it's not reacting in a positive way, which means there's more concern here than I think we're being led on to. I would not be surprised if he's shut down for the rest of the year.
I'm with Dusty on this one. As far as I'm concerned, that's where he is right now, and I'm 100% with him. Like, I'm sure there's more that they're not letting us in on right now. Because that's the way it always works. That's just,
And that's the way sports are. Like, how's Jamal? Well, he's got a knee. Okay,
yeah.
Elaborate.
Yeah, and I don't know why you would rush him back, honestly, at this
point, there's no reason to.
Yeah, your pitching staff doesn't need him. Your pitching staff's fine.
Yeah.
No, that's not the problem.
It's hitting.
Yes.
Which it's been for 2.5 years. But God forbid you talk about it.
That is not the problem with KU baseball. They are going to be hosting their regional tournament for the NCAA baseball season. And this is a cool story. We've talked about it maybe before, but it came back up in the timeline. Charlie Sheen was offered a baseball scholarship to KU. He was expelled from Santa Monica High School before graduating. And so due to those disciplinary issues, lost that scholarship, never went to KU, never played baseball there, but kind of a cool story, one word there.
I guess he was a wild thing in college, too. Fun. Like, those are the stories people love, right? And when you get new teams doing things, you get these great stories, that I never heard that Charlie Sheen one, I don't feel like, before, right? I feel like I would have remembered that. I saw that yesterday, and I'm like, dang, I totally forgot. Or maybe didn't know about Charlie Sheen. But, when your team wins, all these great stories start to pop out. And Jeff Boley put it up there. Great Kansas sports historian, one of a good follow on Twitter, has been around KU and Kansas his entire life and puts up great stuff all the time. And this one for me was kind of cool because I didn't know that. And congrats to KU baseball, man. It's fun because you're not supposed to do it in baseball, right? Like, KU's never been a baseball school since, like, 92 when they went to the College World Series, the Final Four, and a bowl game. I still think the only university to go to all three of those in one season. But they're not a baseball school, and seeing them do this is fun. It's awesome because it's not supposed to happen. Basketball, you're used to it. Football's kind of in purgatory. This baseball thing is really cool, though, with KU hosting that regional for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, KU was surprising a lot of people last year. They just didn't make it to the World Series, but they had a good season last year where they were just pumping runs galore every single game. Charlie Sheen's story, though, interesting. So used to be, I don't know if it's still around, but it was a Mickey Owens baseball camp. It was kind of southeast Missouri on the way to Springfield or wherever you go down to Table Rock Lake. I went there one year. After my freshman year of baseball, I got cut, went to this camp, wanted to learn some things. It was really, really interesting. And guys would sign their name in toothpaste. Two names that stood out that we were told to find: Michael Jordan, Charlie Sheen.
Wow. Cool.
Both went to that.
Cool.
Both went to that Mickey Owens baseball camp. And my parents to this day said, "I hope you had fun," because it was in the middle of August and they were metal bleachers, and they drove down to southeast Missouri to watch me play probably 8 games in 3 days, and just
burn their ass on those bleachers,
sweat, everything. But they loved it. They said, but yeah, Charlie Sheen, Michael Jordan, both in toothpaste above the bunks in the rooms.
That is really cool.
It's a cool story. So yeah, Charlie Sheen's baseball savant.
Yeah,
Kansas 42-16 on the year. Of course, the regional taking place in Lawrence. Baseball America has them 19th out of 64 teams in the tournament.
I think they were the 15th overall seed.
Yes, overall
in the tournament. So that's pretty cool, man. It really is.
No, it's really exciting. Mentioned Michael Jordan. How about this? Michael Jordan has his own personalized golf cart that he keeps at Shadow Creek Golf Course. There's only one person who has permission to use it, not named Tiger Woods. It's Roy Williams.
Baller.
One word. Yeah.
That is the greatest baller status of all time. I wish Roy, and I hate to say it this way, I wish Roy would have exploited his relationship with MJ Moore when he was the coach at KU. And I know he went to North Carolina, obviously, Michael Jordan, but him and Roy have got some bond, and they always had. This isn't some new kind of thing because of this golf cart story. They always have had this great relationship because Roy was like the third assistant when Michael was a freshman. I think he was his freshman coach, if I'm not mistaken. And so they've always had this bond from their days at North Carolina. But the fact that it's this deep, man, like nobody can touch this golf cart except for Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, and Roy Williams. Awesome. Imagine that, man. That's cool. That's awesome.
Really good threesome.
It is. Yeah. I mean, man, that's a really good
I guess
threesome.
my one word would just be UNC. UNC. And that's like something that you give UNC the keys to. It's like, only 2 people. Me and him. That's it. So that's kind of fun. Is. One word there on 96.5 The Fan. And don't forget, get out to Maloney's on a Tuesday. Tacos and burritos, $4.50 Mexican beers and margaritas, $6 double margaritas. They got TVs galore. You got the Royals on at 6:40. You got the Spurs and the Thunder on at 6:30. The weather's great. They got patio seating, everything that you could imagine for that type of vibe at Maloney's on a Tuesday. But coming up on the other side, we'll get into what Jason Kelsey said that we've been saying for quite some time about the NFL and its viewership here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Chiefs.
You're listening to Bob Fescoe.
I'm surprised nobody punched him in the jaw yet.
And Dusty Likens.
He's a hoe, and I want that known.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
I'm worried. Since your accident, we've got medical bills and you're missing work.
I know. I just don't know where to start.
We call SWL Injury Law the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do.
If they can help us get through this,
we've helped people just like you recover what they deserve. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
This deer season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
Get a $15 O'Reilly gift card after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Pros, save more on the materials you need to get the job done inside and out at Lowe's. Right now, get 10% off in-stock Trex Naturals decking, now available in more styles. Plus, get 15% off select custom entry, interior, and storm doors. Then, we'll deliver it all straight to your job site to help keep your jobs moving. Get the brands pros trust, priced right, and ready when you need them. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
FanDuel is serving up a happy hour every day during the playoffs. We're talking special drops you don't want to miss, from profit boosts to bonus bets and more. And the best part, it's every single day. So head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. Here's how I'm handling the daily happy hour. I open the app, see what's available, and suss out. Maybe it's a profit boost on a player point total. Maybe it's a bonus bet, and I'll take a big swing and try to make some mega money and keep that bonus bet in my back pocket. So whether you're betting the early game or gearing up for prime time, make sure you open the FanDuel app and see what's waiting for you today. So go to FanDuel.com/local to get started. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel is an official partner of the NBA and the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Downtown 35 southbound, very heavy from coming off the 169 highway. It stays very slow, crawls down to the split with Southwest Traffic Way with trouble in the right lane. Kansas side, 635 southbound, heavy from Gibbs to 35. 435 southbound, slows past Holiday Drive, stays heavy to Shawnee Mission Parkway with construction. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Wrapping up the 7 o'clock hour here on 96.5 The Fan on your Tuesday. Hope you all had a great holiday weekend. Got some sun, got some grub, got some love, got whatever you needed to have a good time this weekend. It was amazing in Lee Summit, from hanging out to swimming to tons of sunscreen, which will be a topic when we get to start bench cut, because there are options that I didn't know about. But we've talked about the NFL and how there's so much going on, it seems, and how I have said this for 2 years now, that I feel like the NFL will stale itself out. And what I mean by that is it will just give you too much to where you're just, I'm done, I'm full, right? Think of yourself on Thanksgiving dinner, and you've eaten so much, and then you see like a Pizza Hut commercial, like, change the channel, I can't look at food, I'm going to be sick, right? You know that feeling. And I feel like the NFL is headed that way. Now, they're not there yet, but obviously you want to try to forecast it as best you can. And this was Jason Kelce with where football is when it comes to watching it on television in the days of the week.
I don't think we're there yet. Sunday is the day of football, right? Outside of going to church in the morning, if you're still religious and you do that, Sunday is like where so many games happen. And that's what you grow up in. You gear your entire week around watching football on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's an institution at this point, the NFL playing games on Sunday. With every day that we keep adding in there, we're getting away from that just a little bit. And I worry that I think the game got big. One of the reasons it got so popular and big was because all of the game, it was an event. Sunday is the NFL. And everybody set their week apart to tune into their games that were happening on Sunday. And you're watching kind of all of them now take place across Sunday Ticket, right? I worry that we're getting away from that just a little bit by building too many of this.
And what he's meaning is that you now have games on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday.
And Saturday late in the season, too, It's crazy.
It's almost too much, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you can go to a buffet and see that there is a ton of options to eat. You don't have to eat everything. You can find what you like. And I think with the NFL and what they're doing is they're trying to do too much with a product that's already given us enough, if that makes any sort of sense. But, like, he's not wrong about how Sundays were. I don't hate Sunday, Monday, Thursday. I really don't.
No, I don't hate that either.
I think that's fine.
It's fine.
That's good balance. Yeah. That's how it should be. But now you're going to start playing games on Wednesday, but they're going to be in Australia. Then you're going to play a game on Thursday, and it's going to be in Seattle. And then you're going to play a game on Friday, and it's going to be here. And then you're like, all right, so we went from Australia to Seattle to Brazil to Sunday to Monday. And to me, I think the problem with the NFL is that no one's really asking for this. The NFL is just really flexing its own product, which it can because it sits atop of the sports mountain. And it's just like, you won't complain about it, so we're just going to do it. And now you're hearing one of maybe the bigger voices of the NFL, which is Jason Kelce. I don't know how many you would say that are bigger than his when it comes to a vocal voice. Maybe you could throw the insiders up there with Rappaport and Schefter because they just give you the news. But I feel like from a fan's perspective, that to me is why New Heights works so well, because they are very relatable when it comes to the content that they present. And this is something where I think if it's your team, you kind of hate it even more. And you know how I feel about Christmas Day games. I know that's not going anywhere. I understand that some people, like the Fescoe household, they've made it a tradition. And God bless them for doing that, because that's something that family is getting older. They're not going to be together much longer, but they've found some sort of common denominator that is Christmas night football that makes it work for them. It may not work for everybody else, but you're not them, they're not you.
Right.
When it comes to the NFL, we're all of it, right? Like, we're all the NFL. And now it's like, man, you think about the first two Chiefs games, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, or vice versa, I should say. Monday Night Football, then Sunday Night Football. Yeah. And it's like, now you're going to go through different algorithms that are going to make you annoyed, where it's like, well, now they no longer play at noon. Now I have to wait all day Sunday night. Then I have to wait all day Monday night. Plus all these other games are happening. I can't keep up with this. And I think what it's doing is that it's hurting itself interiorly, and it's going to eventually implode from the inside to where it's going to be like what Jason Kelce said, we've lost what got us here, which is building your weekend around, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Well, Friday's happy hour at the Sand Trap. Saturday's yard work and hang out with the family and soccer and whatever. Sunday, football. Now it's like, well, the Chiefs played on Tuesday, so Sunday, I guess I'll watch it, but I'm not as engaged with it as I was in the past. And I think that's the problem, is the NFL is killing itself from the inside out.
It is. I mean, you know, what Mark Cuban said, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. And hearing one of the more prominent voices say something like this is different than us saying it or the fans saying it. Because when you hear it from Jason Kelce, who I do think is one of the prominent voices in the NFL at this point in time, him and Pat McAfee, like, you can say what you want about them, but they are the most prominent voices right now that I think this league has from an opinion standpoint. And when he's saying it, to me, it's also a kind of a direct connection, if you will, to a lot of the players that are still in the game today, because Jason just recently played, and oh, by the way, his brother is still playing right now. So this isn't just Jason Kelce's opinion on this subject. This is Jason Kelce's opinion after talking to a lot of people about this, right? And having the conversations and finding out, what do the players like? What did I like as a player? And really kind of putting this into perspective, because I think, you kind of do need to get a hold on it. The one thing we say about baseball, there's too many games. What do we say about the NBA? There's too many regular season games. Do people want to see less of the regular season, more of the postseason? They want games that matter. And Sundays was always that way to get kind of people captivated. You owned the day. And by not owning Sunday anymore, you don't really own any other day of the week. Maybe you get a little on a Tuesday, a little on a Wednesday, a little on a Friday, a little here. But Sunday, you knew everybody was going to be there and attend your party. Now there's half the country that doesn't have to attend your party on Sunday because they played earlier in the week, or they have a bye, or they play a game. And the other thing that I think is ticking fans off, and this is something that I'll relay. We were talking to our friend Richard, who we share our tickets with yesterday, and we were kind of going over the games, and he's like, there's nothing in October and November really at home, right? That's the other thing, is like they have front-loaded and back-loaded the home games. The best months of the year, we don't have games at Arrowhead. And that's been going on since Andy's been here, because he likes the back end, having those games at home and for the postseason, and I understand all that. But for the last decade, we're worried about playing on Wednesdays and Thursdays and Tuesdays and Sundays. We totally forgot. We've had October and early November basically taken away from us as a fan base in this town,
Yeah, there's a podcast that I listened to. I wish we would have came up with this idea. They did a draft this weekend of "Don't Divorce Your Wife" draft, and we're drafting the holiday games, whether to skip and what to watch.
Yeah, sure.
And because that's literally where it's at now. And because if you want to have a family or be a father or be a friend or just be a human being, that's what it's going to take. It's going to take being all right, I'm going to set aside this day. I'm going to watch this game at these 2 days. I'm going to not do that.
Right.
I'm going to value my family because it's on every day. And that's the situation that every other sport is in. That was the one unique thing about the NFL. they didn't have that problem. NBA, baseball, hockey, all these sports have so many games where we're doing that constantly. Yeah, Celtics played tonight. I'm not going to watch because I've got 40 other games. The NFL is now putting themselves in that situation.
Yeah, they are. And Sunday was such an event, too, guys, like back in the day. I remember walking into Arrowhead in the early days that I was doing this job, and Vermeil was the coach, and Carl Peterson was there. And I've always shared this story, but, like, you walked in, and you felt like if you weren't there on Sundays, there was FOMO, man. You wanted to be at Arrowhead. You needed to be there. It was that Sunday feel, that Sunday vibe. And that was something that they had because it was one day a week. If you start giving somebody something all the time, it's just not as special anymore, right? Like, say you like fillets or whatever. You eat filet for 3 weeks in a row. You're finally like, all right, I've had enough of this. I don't need it anymore. Even though I like it, I can pass for a couple of days. I've had my fill. You always want to leave people wanting more. And I think by having, as Dusty talked about, the Thursday, Sunday, Monday, you left your fans wanting more because it was one game on a Thursday, it was one game on a Monday, and everything else was on Sunday. You left your fans wanting more. And Tuesday rolled around, and we couldn't wait to get to next week. And we don't really have that anymore. And I love the fact that Jason Kelce is out here telling everybody how he feels because I think he's right about it. And I think a good majority of the fans, like a vast majority of the fans, would probably want it back to the old days where we don't have a football game on every single night of the week.
Yeah, I always looked at the football week as like the week of Christmas, right? Like Thursday night was kind of Christmas Eve. Sometimes your family lets you open up one gift. You go to the service, you sing Silent Night. You kind of get into the vibe of it. Then you got to, whatever. And then Sunday was like the big day. Sunday was like, all right, noon, 11 o'clock. I've got Terry Bradshaw on my TV talking to Howie Long about I don't know what, but I know at noon the games are going to start. And then Monday was kind of like, oh, we still got to go over to Grandma and Grandpa's house and do Christmas over there on Monday. You got one game left.
Yeah, you got one game left.
And you can just kind of like fade away into the night. It was never really a great game. We were starting to compare Thursday night versus Monday night or Sunday night versus Monday night. But again, as I can speak this more, we're not talking about this year. We're talking about the future of the NFL and what it can do because somebody says, you know that they're still going to have high ratings this year and no one will care. Again, we're not talking about this year. And obviously we're not talking to the Jay Binkleys or the football hardos. They're like, football will always dominate. It's never going anywhere. Fine, but don't say I didn't tell you so in 2026 that when we get to a point where it's like, now there's football every day of the week, it's like, yeah, I'm good.
It's not as special. It just isn't. It's just not as special.
And that's the narrative is the specialness of what the game used to be and where it's at now because it's just an over and abundance of what it could be. We get back into Bob's Bonehead of the Week. Plus, Josh Vernier joins us in about 20 minutes here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Jack Caglione, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Weekday morning starting at 6 right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks, at some point you just decided, you know what, I'm just going to live with it because, well, this pain has become normal for me. But that's not what we're going to tell you about today. Pain should never be normal. It should be something you need to get rid of and get rid of it fast, and then you can live active and carefree. Let's get started with an introduction to the medical team at QC Kinetics. They have long-lasting regenerative treatments for joint pain. And you know what? The science is real. The treatments are natural. Your body already knows how to heal. QC Kinetics finally gives it the right tools. No operating room, no hardware, no watching summer come and go from a recliner, just getting back to being you. The version of you that doesn't map out a route based on how many chairs there are so you can sit along the way. So get that free consultation because the longer the inflammation sits, the more damage it does. QC Kinetics is going to help you feel better. They're going to do it without downtime. They're going to do it without surgery, and better starts here. So schedule that free consultation now. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone. 816-412-6299.
Hey Kansas City, it's Jeff Briggs with Victory CDJ Art the Legends. Once again, we are taking the hassle out of car buying with the Victory Scavenger Hunt. Folks, as always, our hunts are different. We put the price right at your fingertips with our Let's Do Business guarantee. Like walking up to select Ram 1500s, subtracting $18,000 from the sticker, and let's do business. It's that simple. Just visit VictoryMotorsKC.com and click on the large scavenger hunt banners directly on our homepage. That's VictoryMotorsKC.com, where our first price is better than their last.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid.
Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Hi, folks. Bob, Blue Springs Ford. Hey, Blaine, I know we've got employee pricing going on right now for everyone, but what's the difference in pricing?
Great question. 2026 Escape starting at $26,000.
That's thousands of dollars off.
2026 Expeditions?
Oh, I know this is going to be good.
How about up to $10,000 off MSRP? And Lightning up to $18,000 off. Plus, you get a lifetime powertrain warranty for free.
Folks, go to BlueSpringsFord.com right now, because this ends soon.
Royals coverage is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City.
Brought to you by Blue KC is the Coaches with Character program. Do you know a rock star high school coach in your district? Nominate them for the Blue KC Coaches with Character program at bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character. Let's make our coaches feel special and make our community a better place to live, work, and play.
For 75 years, Kansas City families have trusted Anthony for comfort, safety, and dependable service. Thank you for trusting us with your house keys. Anthony, in your home for 75 years.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. 470 westbound bogs down the Grandview Triangle. Heavy onto 435. Then you're off again, on again, heavy over past Holmes to the state line. Replacing your HVAC doesn't have to be an emergency. Plan now, pay less later. When you plan ahead, you get more options, better scheduling, and less stress. Schedule today at AnthonyPHCE.com. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows, shorts, and clips. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
O'clock on a Tuesday. Whether it is brioche, whipped cream, or boneheads, the floor is Bob Fescoe's for a bonehead raw on a Tuesday. In
Bob's Boneheads. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. Actually, that sums up everything that I'm going to be talking about here. And that, my friends, Bob's Bonehead this week, analytics in sports. Here we go. Analytics in sports. This last week was Josh Hart talking about analytics.
I'm never a huge analytics guy. At a certain point, they're a lamppost to a drunk person. You can lean on them, but it won't get you home.
So there you go. That's the analytic comment that we had from Josh Hart last week. They are like a lamppost to a drunk person. You can lean on it, but it won't get you home. And he's exactly right about that. And I think the war on analytics is happening right in front of our eyes. Fans are over this crap. Fans are done with their favorite team, the Royals, using analytics because it doesn't work. It doesn't attribute to wins. And Kenny Atkinson, who is the head coach of the team in Cleveland yesterday, the Cavaliers, had this to say after Game 3, before Game 4, about analytics.
Analytically, I think we've won the I said 3 out of 3. We're 2 out of 3 in the expected. I don't know if you guys follow that. There's an expected score, and we won 2 out of 3. And I know you're looking confused, but I'm not. There is really, if you believe in process and all that, like man up. So take that later. I know I don't throw that on them. I see it for myself. we have this feeling, I have this feeling, then I can go to our analytical table and be like, man, we are, I think last night it was, the expected score was like 1 point or 2. Us shooting way below expected, them shooting way over. I know no one wants to hear that. I think you guys like hearing it. I know, general public, no one wants to hear that. Everyone's outcome based, and sure, I get that too.
I get that too. Everyone is outcome based. I get that too. No, that's the only thing that we need to be focused on in sports. Right there is why sports has gotten out of hand and why the nerds suck. I mean, they really do. Like, suck it, nerd. Because right there, that's the head coach of a team that just got swept away in the NBA Finals, losing every game by 20 or 30 points, has the balls to sit out there and talk about the expected versus reality. Expected is a fantasy land in which we live, where we can create the greatest scenarios that we want. Beautiful flowers and wonderful foods and great money for everybody. And that, oh man, that's the expected land in which we live. The reality is life sucks and it's really hard, right? Everything in life is really, really hard. That's the expected versus the reality. The reality is you got your ass kicked on the court and you're going back there and you're telling people that based on the analytics, we probably should have won 2 of, or at least all 3 of the first 3 games in the series, because that was expected versus what was reality. He talks about believing in the process. You got swept away. You're 0-4. There's no process there.
Analytic.
But he keeps going with the expected, the expected, the expected. Do you know what the expected doesn't do when you're sitting there using your Macintosh computer trying to figure out a spreadsheet for today's lineup or whatever it is that you nerds are doing over there in front offices of professional sports teams? You know what you're not doing? You're not focusing in on the human being side of things. And so you can have all that expected and the numbers say this should happen. What if James Harden's elbow's bothering him a little bit and he didn't tell you that and you don't know about that kind of stuff? Or what if somebody had a bad day at home and they came to the ballpark or to the court and they're pissed off because they got into a fight with their wife, or maybe somebody's aunt died and you don't know that, and you're not dealing with the expected at that point. You're dealing with the human side of things. And as long as these teams continue to pump out the expected versus reality and tell you to believe in the process and not show you any results for it, well, all you're doing is trying to justify your jobs to ownership. That's what analytics is. It's justification of jobs to owners when the results aren't where they need to be. And as far as fans are concerned, he talks about maybe you guys are interested in this kind of stuff. If the media continues to feed this kind of stuff, then you're just along for the ride and you're a jock sniffer at this point in time, because this kind of stuff isn't working. If you're sitting there and you're listening to that Kenny Atkinson talk about the expected and you're a media member, you're like, yeah, I see what you're saying. No. Sports and life was created, and winners and losers are in everything. It's not what's expected to happen. If we lived our lives on what we expected to happen, nobody would do a damn thing. We'd all just walk around and go, I expect this to happen, because the numbers would say it's going to happen. You've got to go out there and you've actually got to factor in the human side of things. And hearing that coach say that, that's grounds for termination. If you're in Cleveland today, why do you want that guy leading your team? He has absolutely no feel, and he has the balls to sit there and say, well, we should have won 2 of the first 3 games based on what was expected. Expected versus reality are 2 widely different things.
Yeah, and James Harden said they're the better team.
That was awesome.
That was great. Analytics describe the process of using logic, reasoning, and the breakdown of complex ideas into smaller component parts to understand them. Huh?
What? Say that.
That's the definition, which is to me completely lost.
What?
The definition of
analytic.
The process of using logic, reasoning, and the breakdown of complex ideas into smaller component parts to understand them.
Logic, you said. They don't use any logic when it comes to these analytics. They don't. There's no logic used at all. It's a number.
I know that, what's his name? Billy Beane kind of introduced this to baseball, and it worked once. This reminds me, baseball analytics and NBA analytics, I feel like those are the 2 sports that really dive into it.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of the time that the Miami Dolphins figured out that they could run the Wildcat running back offense, and it worked one time. And it worked against the New England Patriots. And then it was just kind of like, what?
Then everybody had a week to prepare.
And then it was like, oh, that doesn't work anymore because the surprise factor's out. Whereas, like, to me, where I get lost in the analytics when it comes to this Royals team, not necessarily the NBA team, because I heard Charles Barkley out there saying like, "Oh man, Wemby, they just need to, he's getting hit too hard." It's like, no, hit him harder, let him get tougher, let him get used to those hits. Like you see LeBron James, right? He gets hit all the time. You're like, oh, he's faking that. That's a 6'8" dude that weighs 240 pounds. Like those hits are not light. He's not selling. Now some he is, but like when he goes to the rim, like. Those are people that are like, I've got to hit this guy harder because he's bigger. And what Barkley was wanting Wemby to do is take those licks so that now he knows what he's got to do in the offseason to maybe get a little bit more stronger to take the ball to the rack, even though it's not hard for him to do that. But, like, guys will hit Wemby harder. They will hit him higher. What do you do in the offseason? You adjust to that.
Right.
Whereas, like, with analytics, you're telling me that you have a system that you run, yet in the Royals lineup, there's two guys that don't move and aren't doing anything.
Well, that's part of the system you wouldn't understand.
Right, and that's fine.
I'm
but
joking,
like, no,
obviously.
I know. I'm just saying, but like, Vinny Pasquantino, 201 average, Salvador Perez now 215. I don't use average and stuff. And to what they're telling us is that these guys have proven it, they don't need the analytics to get it. But yet, they'll get out of it. Whereas other guys in the lineup, it's like, well, we don't know what they're going to do yet, and, analytically, I don't know. If
so hang on a second. What you're telling me then, Dusty, is 3 and 4 in this lineup, they're using analytics to say that they can do this, but with Jack Caglione, where they don't have any evidence whatsoever, they're telling us he can't do something. That's where the make it make sense comes into play for me.
And that's why last year I talked about it with the manager who will be with us tomorrow, and I was like, how do you know that Noah Cameron can't pitch in the 6th inning if he's never pitched into the 6th inning? And it's one of those like, well, we eventually will get him there. Like it's like, okay, well, he's pitched like 6 times now. He's made 6 starts in the MLB. That's more than 90% of people will do on the face of the earth. And yet you don't know if you don't know. And like we had conversation about the pool yesterday, and one of my buddies' father-in-law is like, how can you explain it to me? And I was like, well, when you taught your kids how to ride a bike, did you tell them you can only learn how to ride your bike when it's perfectly sunny and 80 degrees outside? No, because some days your kid's going to ride his bike and it's going to rain. And some days he's going to ride his bike and it's not going to be in his neighborhood. But you know what? He's never going to learn if you don't let him learn.
That's exactly right.
And I'm much more happier finding out that Jack Caglione might fail in the major leagues if he got 900 at-bats. I'm going to be more pissed off to know that he made it after 150. Like, I need to see them play more, and I need to just... Quite honestly, I just need to understand it. And right now, I don't understand it. And I honestly say, I don't think a lot of people that use it understand it.
No, I don't. I think you're right about that. And I don't think fans understand it.
Because we don't see it in football.
Yeah.
We see analytics.
We do.
Yeah, of course we
But
do.
they don't rely on it as like. I think if you're looking at the way that the leagues use analytics, baseball's by far overdone this thing.
What's the
Way
example
overdone.
in football? Like it is in
4th
baseball?
down.
Yeah, 4th
okay,
down.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking like from
like
an athlete's perspective. Like you wouldn't be like, hey, Mansour Delane,
Yeah,
you
of
don't
course.
play well on the road.
that kind of
That's
no,
what I
yeah,
mean.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
But in
yeah,
basketball, it's
totally.
like, oh, their guards are all 6'3". We need speed. We're not going to use the height. Why not? You have another advantage
you have that,
against
yeah.
a disadvantage. Whereas like football, it's
Yeah.
like, well,
It's different.
I mean, I guess I could use it for Kareem Hunt. Can't run the ball more than 5 yards, but by God, 87% of the time, 4th and 1, he's getting it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But that's
if
not
you're-
analytics. That's just using.
That's
That's
stats.
pretty.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
smart.
That is analytics, though.
But I
That's
mean,
my point. Like that term gets overused and misused. So, like, yes, Royals analytics sucks. Kenny Atkinson sounds like a complete nincompoop.
Yeah.
Those things are true.
Right.
But that's not analytics' fault. That's the people implementing it.
Okay.
Analytics has moved us a long ways in sports, but now it is, and that's what makes to me sports even more fun now because you've got people being idiots using analytics, and you've got people being smart using analytics. Like, I'd love to talk to some people over at the White Sox and see how they've done it. They are surely using analytics. It's not what we're using over here in Kansas City, but it is.
But they also use the eye test, right? I mean, look at where
it's
the
a
White
happy
Sox
medium. You
as an
gotta find your
organization
balance.
are right now, right? They've got great young players. They've got players that are going out there and hitting home runs. They've spent money in the offseason. The Royals could have had Murakami. They didn't want to win bad enough. I mean, that's ultimately what it boils down to. Did you want to win bad enough this offseason? It doesn't seem like the Royals wanted to win bad enough, this offseason. And to make matters worse, and I know we had it kind of at the top of the dock, and we can talk to Vern about this. I don't know what you guys thought about this, but even for me sitting there yesterday watching that game, John Sherman should be pissed off after what he witnessed yesterday at his ballpark. that place was chanting "Let's go Yankees" louder than anything that I've heard this year of fans cheering for the Royals. I don't know if you guys heard that, but I heard it clear as day on ESPN yesterday. That's the thing right now that if you're John Sherman, that should be the thing that forces you to make a move here and do something different. Your ballpark was taken over by the opposing fans, and they were chanting "Let's go Yankees" at your ballpark yesterday. That should piss John Sherman off.
Knicks fans continue to lose their mind in Times Square. A guy was interviewed last night. I would give up my effing coworkers, F them, because they're all useless. I would give up half my family for the Knicks to win it all. Josh Byrne, you're on the other side here at 96.5 The Fan. You're home for the Kansas City Royals.
Good morning, Kansas City. It's Carter Jensen, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, weekday mornings starting at 6, right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at Window World are amazing. We love the folks at Window World. We had them over to the house over the weekend to look at our sliding door because, well, you know, the dog has kind of run through it a couple of times because she gets excited about those squirrels. But you know what? We don't care because at Window World, they have a lifetime warranty that covers all parts, glass breakage, and labor. So if something goes wrong, Window World takes care of it because nothing goes wrong with Window World. These guys are awesome as a company. They supported Dayton Moore's See You in the Major Leagues Foundation event the other night, so they give back to the community, and you're going to get awesome replacement windows when you need them. When we needed over 30 windows a couple of years ago, we made one phone call, and that was to Window World. We dialed them at 1-800-GET-WINDOWS and said, hey, we need over 30 new windows. They came out, replaced all of them, and did an unbelievable job for us. And like I said, with that lifetime warranty that covers all parts, glass breakage, and labor, you have peace of mind and awesome windows as well. So call them today and get that free in-home estimate. 1-800-GET-WINDOWS. That's 1-800-GET-WINDOWS or at windowskansascity.com. 1-800-GET-WINDOWS. It's Window World.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens. You know me. I love doing golf things. I love talking golf, playing golf, and I love having Surfside iced tea and lemonade plus vodka on the golf course, and you can do it too this season. It's light, refreshing, made with real vodka and zero bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. So this spring, look out for the brand new half and half variety pack featuring flavors like raspberry iced tea and lemonade, and oh yeah, blackberry iced tea and lemonade, because there's no bubbles, no troubles. Cheers to hitting the fairways, and cheers to Surfside. Must be 21 and older. Please drink responsibly.
Chris Stigall lied about President Trump.
Donald Trump's not a conservative. I will not support Donald Trump.
And now he's lying about Nathan Willett.
Woke Willett spent $631,000 of your money on transgender outreach programs.
Those are flat-out lies from Chris Stigall, who attacks President Trump. And here's the proof. He voted against trans surgeries and trans bathrooms. Nathan Willett is a Christian, conservative, and seventh-generation North Missourian.
I'm Nathan Willett. I'll fight for President Trump, and I approve this message. Paid for by Nathan Willett for Congress.
Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, and I'm here with Rob Seid at Rob Seid Ford. Rob, I smell a grill. What's cooking?
Kevin, the grills are fired up, and so are the deals. Right now at Rob Seid Ford, it's the Ford Employee Pricing Sales Event with the best deals we've had in the past 12 months.
Now that's saying something. What are we talking?
Employee pricing on virtually every new Ford on our lot, plus even more dealer discounts on top.
So how hot do these deals get?
Up to $17,500 off brand new F-150s at Rob Seid Ford, plus huge savings on Expedition, Explorer, Bronco Sport, Bronco, and more.
Wow, that's 5 alarm hot.
Exactly, and unlike Kevin's Burgers, these deals are coming out juicy.
All right, I walked into that one.
Shop Rob Seid Ford, Kansas City's top-rated Ford store on Google. 4.8 stars and nearly 3,500 reviews.
Rob Seid Ford, 135th and State Line, or robseid.com.
Buy right, Rob Seid.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
You know that Chick-fil-A sells more than chicken, right?
Hello, my name is Jaleesa, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Sausage, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit is how it's all of my favorite breakfast items in one good bite. That fluffy egg, that melty cheese with that perfectly grilled sausage. It just gives you that warmth, that comfort food that you love. It is the best possible option for a classic breakfast.
Comfort is calling. Order a Chick-fil-A Sausage, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit with Simply Orange Juice on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Through the Grandview Triangle, 470 westbound, heavy, and getting on to 435. It's off again on again slow, but bogs down at 103rd, and westbound stays heavy across the state line with an accident blocking the right lane. 150 westbound bogs down past home, stays heavy to the state line there. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan, traffic.
Welcome back to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Long-time listener and supporter of you because you tell it like it is.
Here's our Royals insider, Josh Vernier.
Man, I have missed this guy's voice on this show because I've been gone. Vern, how you doing, brother?
Not as good as you, man. I'm watching the live stream.
Okay.
You're looking good, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Real good.
For the first time in my life, I was the tannest person on Memorial Day weekend. It felt great.
Yeah. Boy, I don't know what that feels like.
Neither
These
do I.
legs are basically translucent.
Yeah, well, analytics would tell you to get in the sun for 10 minutes. Vern, I want to ask you, because I feel like you ask the text line this a lot when you do your shows. I think you do a wonderful job of trying to, maintain emotions. What would you change as of May 26 at 22-33, 9 games back in the division, 4 games in the wild card?
Yeah, I mean, nothing really jumps out at me
Okay.
as something that's going to make, any real difference. Now, I certainly can't sit here and defend whatever changes fans want or you guys want. Yeah, when you're 10 below and on pace to lose 96 games, there are no bad ideas. So, but throw them out there. But, yeah, personally, a lineup change doesn't do anything for me. Firing an assistant coach doesn't really do anything for me. I mean, honestly, you look towards the trade deadline, but shoot, man, that's still more than 2 months away. So bringing in, the type of difference maker, I don't see that as a possibility. Not just difference maker as far as production, but a difference maker as far as leadership inside that clubhouse. I wish it was an easy fix. I wish I had an idea, but yeah, I don't. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Where are you with Cole Reagans? Will we see him again this year?
Yeah, yeah. You'll. I mean, hopefully you see him again. But what does it mean? I don't know all that much. What I'll say about Cole Reagans is I think, and I've mentioned this a few times in the past, maybe we need to start viewing him like we did Danny Duffy, to where The dude's really good when he's right, but you certainly cannot rely on him to be what you thought you were going to rely on him to be, which is your number one, your opening day guy. Everybody falls in line after him. Duffy was a stud, but just couldn't be relied upon after that 2016 season. Cole Reagans is a stud, but hasn't been able to be relied upon since that 2024 season. He's too darn talented to act as if you don't need him. When you're that good and you throw with that hand, you'll find a spot for Cole Reagans. But as you look ahead to 2027, in no way will I bank on him taking the ball more than 20 times next season or the year after that. Does that mean he's a bullpen arm down the line? No, I don't necessarily see that. But if I'm J.J. Piccolo and I start putting together my team for 2027, yes, Cole Reagans is a part of it, but I'm not viewing him as one of my top 3 pitchers moving forward. You just can't do it.
What about with Daniel Lloyd, Vern, pitching?
He's been a stud. Or at least his cousin Daniel Lynch has been a stud.
He has.
Yeah, that was a nice moment last night of the postgame show. People screaming that Daniel Lynch didn't get a second inning, but forgetting that his last name is Lynch, not Lloyd. Yeah, yesterday's game was one of, if not the most painful L of the season, because you're staring down the barrel now of Cam Schlittler and Garrett Cole. You had the pitching advantage yesterday. That was the game you had to win. It would have been a 3rd straight win, which is commonly referred to as a winning streak. But your closer couldn't close the game. To me, I think you have to be able to rely on your closer to get 3 outs in a big game against an upper echelon ball club. Lucas Erceg unable to get the job done last night, and to me, it's perfectly fair to lay the loss at his feet.
Yeah, he made mistakes, but also we can talk about the manager as well. The way that things played out in the end of the 8th, 9th inning yesterday, it doesn't bode well. And I know a lot of it is hindsight being 2020 and all of that. But for me, where the hindsight isn't 2020, it's foresight and it's current sight. It's right in front of me. Is still with Jack Caglione and not letting him hit in the 8th inning yesterday. You had an opportunity just to give the guy a chance. You had a lead in that game. You know the Yankees were still going to come up in the 9th inning. You didn't let him hit a lefty again. Damaso Marte promptly rolls one over to shortstop, and then you get exposed in the 9th inning in the outfield. What's the harm in letting Cags hit in that situation?
I think you're trying, you can ask Q tomorrow, but, Q believes that Marte, the righty against the submarine lefty and Tim Hill, gives him a better chance of finding some outfield grass and getting Tyler Tolbert home. You saw what Tim Hill did to the previous batter, Carter Jensen. It was good morning, good afternoon, good night. Punch out, go sit down. Maybe it turns out different. Certainly Cags is strong enough to accidentally hit one to the outfield grass, so I can't push back all that much, but just watching the first 54 games, I have a feeling like he would have punched out, but that's just my opinion. And,
sure.
Yeah.
And that's beauty
Marte
of baseball.
in right field could have been better than Caglione, certainly there in the 9th inning. But again, I'd like Erceg to be able to put Volpe away with 2 strikes. I need a punch out in a big spot for my closer. He was unable to deliver it. Caglione's been in there pretty consistently. I mentioned leadership earlier. We've just seen way too much this season from inside that clubhouse of, I'm just at times amazed at, how much I want Adam Frazier back in that clubhouse. Yeah. I had someone call up and say, boy, looks like they need a Raul Ibanez speech. I don't know if they need the speech because I don't know if Ibanez could honestly say that people are afraid of you right now like he did to the boys back in 2014. But they need that person in that clubhouse because Bobby and Salvi are tremendous ball players and lead by example guys, but they're not the vocal leader. Carlos Estevez was a vocal leader last year, but no one's checking for him right now because he's done nothing. Vinny's a vocal leader, but nobody's checking for him because he hasn't done anything all season. It's a lot of what we dealt with last season, where it's a bunch of ball players struggling, and no one, it appears to me, is really there to help guide them through it. Your boy Marte right now is that veteran in the clubhouse, and I don't. It's just not good right now. Just not good inside that clubhouse, in my opinion.
When you look at what the slogan was at the beginning of the year for you, which was the standard, and the standard in this lineup was Vinny and Sal hitting 3 and 4. When does that standard change?
Yeah,
I know it's the whole thing. If not them, then who? But if you're 11 games below 500 and you got some youth on the roster, maybe it's time to. I don't know. I'm maybe a homer.
Well, who's the youth? Carter and Cags?
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm a homer to say
move
that.
Them up 2 spots?
I guess, but I mean, like, the way I look at it is like Vinny just rolls everything over, it seems, right now. Everything just kind of seems to go to the ground and whatnot. I know he's got, 4 hits in his last 5 games, it seems, and Sal's maybe starting to hit the ball a little bit better, but after 55 games, the same result is happening, and at what point does maybe that sort of shakeup change anything? If not, I mean, again, maybe I'm being a homer about it.
No, I think you're being a Royals fan about it. I'm sick of watching the team lose. Let's see something different. I get it. But the message from the team is we can't win without Vinny. We can't win without Salvi being run producers in the middle of our lineup. Now, does that necessarily mean 3 and 4? No. But, the back-to-back lefty of, Vinny and Carter, or Vinny, Carter, Cags, that could lead to problems later on in the game, facing a lefty coming out of the bullpen. Yeah, listen, you want to switch up the lineup, go for it. Carter's hitting $150 over the course of this homestand. Jack Caglione's the worst hitter on the team when it comes to hitting with runners in scoring position. Mix it up however you want, but once you mix it up, if you're Matt Quatrero, you have to stick with it for a while. Mm-hmm. Or else you're Ned Yost at the end of his tenure in Milwaukee. And I was there. You're picking names out of a hat.
Yeah.
No one knows who's hitting where when they show up to the ballpark, and everyone starts calling him Nervous Ned because they can sense that he is panicking about this offense. So, switch it up, but get ready to stick with it for quite a while. And good luck sitting down and telling Salvi, hey, here's 5 or 6 guys that we're going to give more at-bats than you. Now, not that Salvi's a bad teammate,
right?
But I can't imagine him digesting 6 hitters, all of them except for Bobby are underperforming, right? Mike Kell's been an underperforming hitter.
Yep.
Vinny, Salvi, I got nothing bad to say about Carter and Cags. But those 3, Vinny, Salvi, and Mike Kell have all underperformed this season. So, how can you bring some of these underperforming bats to the dish before a guy like Salvador Perez? But again, like you mentioned, Dusty, 10 games below 500, and you have Bailey Falter on the bump going opposite Cam Schlittler tonight. Hey, man, whatever you want to do, let's try it.
Well, it sounds like almost, though, Vern, as we're having this conversation, it sounds like the front office dropped the bag then and didn't get enough good players in here for Matt Quatrero to utilize and get him out there. Like, I don't know. And
who are we talking about real quick, Bob? I'm sorry, but
yeah.
We're talking about Mike Kell, Vinny, and Salvi.
Right.
It's not even like they're just like Vinny and Salvi have been very bad.
Very bad.
And I don't know anybody coming into the season that said this team is deep enough to win with a bad Vinny, a bad Salvi, and a below-average Mike Kell. No,
right.
Not many teams, especially small market teams, can overcome something like that.
No, you're right about that. But, I mean, I also...
So how do you bank on that?
Well,
how do you come into the season saying, hey, my 3 of my 4 best hitters are likely going to be bad this year?
Right. But I'm going to go a different route and go, you don't have a legitimate everyday outfielder based on your actions, based on the way that you've utilized the lineup, not by my perception, based on what I've seen. You don't have a legitimate everyday outfielder on your roster that you're allowing to go out there and play every day.
Caglione.
But they don't let him play every day, Vern. I'd like to think he's an everyday, but God forbid a lefty shows up to work that day and Cags is on the bench. Okay, so maybe you have...
He started the last 2 against a lefty.
Maybe,
he's been in there pretty consistently.
Yeah, okay.
Outside of him being a bozo and needing to maybe take a take a seat and learn what it means to be a professional.
Yeah, but I also still look around and I go, you were still going to utilize him with your analytics and your platoon numbers as a platoon guy out there against lefties for most of the season. And so I don't know that they have a legitimate everyday major league outfielder on this team. I have not seen that. They didn't add that in the offseason. They should have, dealt from a strength of starting pitching, utilize one of their guys. Like I was saying this in the offseason, whether it was Cameron or Bubic or Reagans, use one of those guys as collateral to get a legitimate outfielder and get a legitimate outfielding bat for your organization right now. Because I look at the outfield as 4 or 5 just platoon guys, and that's not going to cut it at the big league level.
Well, Kaggs and Collins have not been used as platoon players. Now, Kaggs wasn't given an everyday role. They were hoping that he would earn it. And
he didn't start opening day,
Right, against, the Cy Young Award winner, future Hall of Famer, and Chris Sale. Carter Jensen was in there. Again, I'm sorry. I just don't view Jack Caglione the same way I do Bobby Witt Jr. and Maikel Garcia. But I hope I eventually do.
Sure, and I'm not viewing it from that perspective at all.
That's what you want. If you want him in there, regardless of who's on the mound, well, then you're treating him like Maikel and Bobby.
I just want real baseball, Vern, instead of this nonsensical crap that we're watching. I mean,
we haven't seen that with Caglione. He's been in there pretty consistently.
Consistently, more so lately. But I want to go to the ballpark every day. I want to know who my left fielder is. Like that's how you and I were raised on baseball, right? And I know the game is different now.
Yeah, but we also were raised on football where they didn't go for it on fourth down all the time.
Right.
The NBA wasn't always.
But those are decent
shooting.
enough changes for the sport. I'm looking at kids right now going out to the ballpark. How can they identify with this team? They have no idea who's going to be in the lineup. And the guys that they do know, other than Bobby, aren't hitting their weight at this point in time.
And that lineup we saw all weekend has been put out there 13 times already, maybe 14 after yesterday. Ned Yost never put the same lineup out there in 2015 more than 11 times. We've already seen this lineup 14 times, 54 games into the season. So if you don't know who's on your team a third of the way through the season, if you don't know that 1 through 9, well, then you're not paying attention because it's Maikel, Bobby, Vinny, Sal. People are sick of it, right? I mean, Carter, Kaggs, Collins, Massey, and Isbell. That's the 1 through 9 you're seeing 5 out of every 7 days. And Q's been honest since he showed up. I'm using everybody on my roster. Because when I showed up here, you guys weren't using Ryan O'Hearn. You weren't using Brent Rooker. You were running your bullpen guys into the ground. And the edict from on high was, in this type of market, we need to utilize all 26 on our roster. So, yeah, occasionally Elias Diaz and a Starling Marte and Elaine Thomas are going to get a look. And to be honest, those guys are doing their jobs, which brings us back to the individuals that are not doing their jobs. The all-star closer, the all-star opening day starter, the all-star third baseman, the all-star catcher, the 3,100 first baseman, the guys that we didn't discuss this offseason because, well, we know we got this. Those are the guys that are leading you to 10 games below 500.
So how do we fix that then? That's the million-dollar question, I know. Is that leadership?
Those guys step up and start doing their jobs.
Yeah, but it's a lot of those guys, Vern. Like, you just listed the whole roster.
Bubic is hurt.
You know?
Yeah, Strom is hurt. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So, like when the whole roster isn't achieving success, then what do you do?
Well, I don't think it's the whole roster. I think it's the best players on your team that are letting you down. Again, Carter and Kaggs have done. Now, did you want a little bit more power out of Kaggs? No doubt about it. But what he and what Carter have done in their first full season, 54 games in, I'll take it. Collins, Lofton, Lane Thomas, Kyle Isbell, these guys, Starling Marte, they've done enough. Maikel, you're dogging it? You're not giving effort down the first baseline?
But not getting
Carter
benched
Jensen,
or something
you're
like
sleeping
that,
in.
too.
Jack Caglione, you're pouting out there on the field. Vinny, you can't use your voice because you stink offensively. I understand that there's frustration and we want an answer, but to me the answer is Mahomes, Kelsey, Chris Jones, 50 Karloftis. These are the guys that are screwing things over for this team this season.
Somebody who looked like a stud you had to see with your own eyes. What's the future look like for Stephen Kolek in this rotation?
Well, yeah, he's certainly not going anywhere anytime soon. With the injury to Reagans and the injury to Bubic, Kolek is not only a part of this rotation for the rest of this season, but he's next to Waka, Lugo. He might be your number 3 next season right now with him and Noah Cameron vying for that. Of course, you'll have Cole Reagans, Luwinder Avila, maybe Ryan Berger coming off of injury. Yeah, Stephen Kolek, a very cool, calm, and composed 29-year-old without much swing and miss. So you're wondering how long will it last? We'll see. But yeah, that Freddie Fermin trade. You look at his numbers. He's been defending his tail off out there in San Diego, but he's hitting like he's still a Royal, hitting below 200 with an OPS in the 400. So yeah, it's looking like another win. The Stephen Kolek move, but yeah, thank God you have him. Thank God you have that pitching depth, or else this record would be even worse than 10 games below 500. I mean, it's so sad when you look at that rotation. 29 quality starts, the exact same number as the Dodgers. Dodgers are 20-9 when they get a quality start. Royals are 16-13 when they get a quality start. Shoot, they've gotten a quality start in 9 of the last 10 games and are 3-7 in that stretch. It's embarrassing.
So, Vern, then what happens if this continues like this in the offseason?
Yeah, that's a John Sherman question.
Yeah.
Because, if you fire the manager after you give him a 3-year extension, well, let's be honest, it's the general manager more so than the manager.
Yep.
So is John Sherman ready to cut ties with J.J. Piccolo? I certainly wouldn't be. You look at what he's done free agent-wise. You look at what he's done at the trade deadline. I still think it's a net positive. 2 winning seasons in the past 3 years. Now, I understand this year is careening towards 90-some-odd losses. But, yeah, that's a John Sherman question because everything below the general manager to me looks like a cop-out. And firing the general manager to me would be you do that, you're completely overhauling your entire organization because you don't just get rid of JJ and then give it to Scott Sharp, right? You don't just keep doing what you've been doing from Dayton to JJ. It would be a complete clean house. And, man, again, to me, it comes down to the players. I think there is talent on this team. Man, that's one of the things that has hurt me most this season is people call up and say, oh, there's no talent on this team. And with the way that they're playing, anything I say to defend them makes it sound like I'm a homer. But the fact that you can calmly say this team doesn't have enough talent and I really don't have the weapons to combat that, that to me really hurts because I do think this team is talented. I do think it's a winning roster, but, I mean, the record says it's not. So, yeah, it's a John Sherman question. It begins with the general manager, but I don't see any of those heads rolling at season's end.
A lot of similarities. I think you're talented. I think you're wonderful. And, of course, I love you, Vern. Keep doing the Lord's work with that pre- and post-game show. We'll be locked in tonight at 5:30, my man.
My man, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course, Vern. That's Josh Verner, Royals Insider here at 96.5 The Fan. Coming up, what I want to see. Screw it. I'm selfish when it comes to the NBA at this time of the year. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Tune in to hear Royals insider Josh Vernier every Monday at 8:20.
Professor Vernier sitting up here, bloviating.
On your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you something. My friends over at Aspen Lawn and Pest Control are ready for you, and they're ready for your lawn to be awesome just like ours is. And you may think, oh, Fescoe, your lawn was always good. No, my lawn was terrible until we called Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. We had dirt, we had weeds, we had roots, we had dandelions everywhere. I mean, it was awful. And I called Aspen Lawn and Pest Control. I said, hey, can you take control of this lawn and turn it into anything better than what it is? And they go, don't worry about it. We've got this. And here I am this past weekend, Memorial Day, out there in the morning, watering the grass in my bare feet in this lush, green, thick, beautiful grass. And I'm like, man, Aspen Lawn and Pest Control did an unbelievable job. And now I'm able to sit outside as well because the pest control side of things is in full effect. We have the mosquito dome over our house. We have no mosquitoes. We have no ticks. We have no fleas. It's great for the dog, and it's great for us as well. Right now, Aspen is going to give you a free estimate and up to half off your first application when you mention this ad. So visit them now at aspenlawn.com. That's aspenlawn.com.
Spring is here, and as the weather heats up, the sports action heats up at Circa Sports. From baseball to basketball, hockey to golf, Circa Sports has it all. Circa Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Whether you're looking for playoff futures or props on your favorite players and more, Circa Sports has you covered. Download the Circa Sports app or visit circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 are trying to make Kansas City better for everybody. And, man, in over 140 years, roughly, they've done an amazing job at that. They build all of these great projects you see in Kansas City, and they employ so many great people. And now they want to help you with your business, and there's absolutely no cost to become a partner contractor with the Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2. So if you're an HVAC contractor, they'll provide a flexible workforce for your project demands, timelines, and economic conditions. And the Sheet Metal Workers will help adjust the size, skills, and deployment of your workforce to maximize effectiveness during the times you need it the most. And that gives you a chance to bid on every job available for you. They'll provide the best trained manpower specifically for the HVAC industry and train your current employees as well. And like I said, there's no downside. It's completely free with zero obligation. The Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2. We're an old union with a new perspective on business. Learn more at sheetmetal2.org.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and from changing seasons to unpredictable road conditions, having solid auto insurance gives you real peace of mind. With AAA, switching today means you could save up to 21% on your auto insurance. AAA offers dependable protection, personalized coverage options, and customer service that's always there for you. And when you bundle policies or insure multiple vehicles, you can save even more. Visit AAA.com. That's AAA.com.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
Yep. So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
Yeah, and now at Staples, save 40% on custom cards, photo gifts, wrapping paper, banners, and more.
Big news! Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. In 613, exclusions apply.
Chuck McDowell here with Red Pocket Mobile. How long have you been stuck with the same phone plan? 2 years? 5? 10? Are you tired of surprise fees and confusing bills that never match what you thought you were paying? Cut the nonsense.
Right now at redpocket.com, new and existing customers adding a line can get our premium 5G plan for just $5 a month. That's only $60 a year.
And here's the kicker. Red Pocket Mobile gives you access to all 3 5G networks. You pick the one that works best where you live or work, or switch anytime for better coverage. And with Red Pocket, you keep your phone and your number. Why in the world would you not switch? Red Pocket Mobile, your new ultimate cell carrier.
Celebrate Memorial Day with big savings from Red Pocket Mobile. Right now, new and existing customers can get our premium 5G plan for just $5 a month. Just $60 a year, and choose from all 3 major 5G networks with one locked-in low price at redpocket.com. That's redpocket.com. redpocket.com.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Brought to you by the Kansas City Auto Show, June 4th through 7th at the Overland Park Convention Center. Missouri side 70 westbound before the Blue Ridge cutoff with an accident down to one left lane getting by. Long delays that are very slow. At best, you're crawling. A lot of stopping and waiting. That backup stretching from around Lee Summit Road. The Kansas City Auto Show is back, taking over the Overland Park Convention Center. The latest cars and trucks, exclusive test drives. See the future of driving. Get your tickets now at kansascityautoshow.com. The Kansas City Auto Show, June 4th through 7th. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Okay, can we have a sidebar conversation before we get into my, I don't know, just obsession with Victor Wembanyama? Okay, first off, the news is on here, right? Because we only get Fox 4's news. Shout out to Phil Collins. My health is getting better. But they said...
I hope his heart goes on.
Well, okay. Or he can feel it calling in the air tonight. They said on the news, the temperature... You ready to get range bait here?
Yeah.
They said the temperature you should leave on at your house with your AC is 78 degrees.
What?
Yeah, that's for all the people out there trying to save the birds.
73 is hot.
Yeah,
Like
78 is stupid, yeah.
That's crazy.
78?
Yeah, that's way
because I
too
leave it
hot.
at 72 throughout the
bet.
day, unless it's going to be like, obviously like a 65-degree day. The windows are always open. But like 72 during the day, 69 at night. Giggity.
Absolutely. Yep. Just about the same.
Yeah,
for
it's
me.
like they always would say like 72 is like the perfect temperature, right?
78?
Come on now. That's just
That's
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
You might as well leave your windows open until July.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It's 78 degrees.
That's
I mean, maybe
nuts.
they're just trying to show you the perfect temperature to save money or save electric and all that kind of stuff. Look,
No
man,
one does that.
I'm to the point in my life, I don't care about that kind of stuff. I want to be comfortable, right? I don't care about, saving electricity or any of that kind of stuff. 78 degrees would make it a miserable environment for everybody, I think.
I can already see the email I get from Evergy when my temperature has been dropped to 69. Here's how you spiked in your money during this month. Yeah, I know.
I know.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
extra
It
$4.
was $75 or 75 degrees at night. I don't want to be hot.
Right.
My
Worth it.
sleep is important to me when I get 5 hours of it every night.
Yeah, I need to have good sleep. I'm not going to sleep there like that. I really don't care about your environmental concerns, man. I'm hot. Sorry.
So this is official now. Victor Wembanyama's Black Prism 1-of-1 rookie card has officially sold for $5.1 million.
$5.1 million. Insane. Insane. Yeah.
A rare card itself. Obviously, there's only one. It got graded as a 10 from PSA, the Black Prism. So just all black card. Victor on there as the young buck rookie got sold for $5.1 million. See you guys later. I kid. I would do my job because I love it, but I would have a lot of, insurance into that. But
there is no chance if I sold that card, I would be back the next day, man.
Yeah,
Mac, what about you?
You're 49 years old. You've done this. Like, you've had the fun.
Mac?
Yeah, of course I'd be here. Yeah.
You
27.
would?
Yeah, dude. It's
At $5 million?
$5 million is not.
Invest that and go do whatever you want.
Yeah, I want to do this.
Well, I would just, and you could get equity on that $5 million every year if you put it in the
If you
right
put it
place.
away, you
Yeah,
make
if you put
money
it away
off
and you're
that.
smart and you do
But
it
what
right,
I'm saying is, like, I would just be like, you know what, getting it before I am, not so bad anymore, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, you're on your contract year. Not really nervous about it anymore. What I do say in this topic here is that I am going to be a straight shooter with this because this is what I want. I don't know if we're going to get it. We're still, I think, 3 games away from figuring this out. Obviously, the Knicks clinched last night. They sweep the Cavs. Adios. 1-2-3 Cancun. Where they going, Chuck? Nowhere, Drew. Nixon is what we said. I tried to give him some credit out here. Said, man, famous Drew Nix. He goes, not the first time. Anyways, we move on. So I want Wemby and the Knicks. I know it's the Spurs. I know, like, it's the team that they have with Castle and what I call Champagne. I know that's not how you say his last name, but whatever. It's Champagne to me.
Champagne, Harper, all those guys, man.
Good
Incredible.
team, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
really fun team.
I want Wemby in the Garden. That's what I want. I want the 22-year-old freak alien show in front of Timothé, Ben Stiller, Jason Bateman, all those people, because I want to see if their reactions of what they have seen in their life, which is more than I will ever see in my life, is the same exact reaction that I get when I watch Victor Wembanyama play basketball. Like, it's just, to me, it is now there with the Mahomes effect. Like, I've seen Wemby do things that I don't think I will see other people do. his card value now is out of the roof. I think we're seeing the new superstar of the NBA before our eyes, and what not a better place than to see it really come to life in the Garden in New York versus the Knicks with Spike Lee there being like, we made it. We're finally there for the first time since 2000 and whatever, 99, whatever, 94, whatever year it was. And then all of a sudden, here comes this guy. Mm-hmm. And to see the perception that the New York fan base has, the game of Brunson and Towns and Hart and OG and all these guys, and then here's this French alien. I want to see that because to me, I don't need to be sold on the NBA. I enjoy the NBA. I love the NBA playoffs. I think that it's one of the top things you can watch in postseason play. But, man, how great would it be to see that man in New York?
It would be outstanding. And right now, like just thinking about what you said, having Oklahoma City win the series would be a wet fart. I mean, it really would be. I mean, I know they've been there and they've got some players, but they don't have anybody like Wemby. They really don't, who's going to be on that stage for the first time. And that's what I think is good for the NBA. Not only do you have the Knicks on the main stage, which is vital to this league, now you've got arguably your best, most interesting, intriguing player playing in the finals. The NBA wins with the Spurs and Knicks. They lose with the Knicks and Oklahoma City Thunder because you don't have really, in my opinion, that second team that is going to draw folks into. Last year you had Oklahoma City. It was new. It was unique. It was different. It was a small market team. People move on from those teams very fast. Ask the Royals, right? Everybody loved them in 14. By the time 15 got here, everybody wanted to fight them and beat them up, right? So that's where I kind of think Oklahoma City is. They were a great story last year. It was fun because it was new. It was different. But now we've got the opportunity to see the premier team in the NBA, which is the Knicks, and they are, whether they win or not, they're still the most important team to their sport. You get to see that with that atmosphere, and then potentially now with arguably the best, most intriguing player in the NBA and Wemby as well alongside. That takes the NBA Finals from here and it brings it to here because there's so much intrigue on both sides. Early spreads out. Knicks are a massive underdog regardless of who they play in this series. No matter who they play, according to Bovada, they are a massive underdog.
Wow.
Massive underdog to this, okay? Here's where the Knicks are right now.
West is.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
Right?
But
So
damn.
if it's the Knicks and Thunder, the Knicks are plus 225, Oklahoma City minus 275, right? That gives you a 73.3% probability that the Thunder beat the Knicks. The Spurs, should they win, the Knicks would be plus 220, and the Spurs would be minus 265, giving the Spurs a 72.6% probability
That's
that
way
they
too
would
much.
win, right?
Yeah, that's way
now,
too much for
according
Spurs.
to Q and to the coach at Cleveland, they won already. It's over. We don't need to play the games because the analytics and the numbers said that that's what should happen. Again, this is why we play the games, because the numbers really don't matter when you go out there. That's the expected versus what the reality is going to be. But what I can tell you is having the premier team on the premier stage in the NBA in their biggest moment, and then couple that with the most intriguing, maybe the most premier player in the league on the other side, that is a huge win for the NBA. And if it's the Knicks and Spurs and they don't dominate ratings, then the NBA needs to figure out what they're doing wrong because they're giving you everything that you possibly want. That would be an unbelievable finals matchup, even for the third or fourth tier NBA fan.
Oh, yeah, Spurs and OKC's dominating rankings, which is why more than anything in any sport, but especially with the NBA, it's shown over its whole tenure. It's about players. Yes, place is great. Market's awesome. New York's sick. But it is about the players. So no matter what, the ratings are going to be fantastic, and it's a win-win no matter who makes the finals. But, yeah, I'd agree. Like, give me Wemby and the Knicks. Like, that's going to be amazing. It would be a better basketball matchup.
You could defend OKC, having them play the Knicks. With the SGA hate and all that.
I would defend. Yeah, I would defend it. Yeah, for sure. But I think that,
is there more SGA hate, or is there more intrigue and interest in Wemby?
The second.
I think so, too.
I don't know. I really don't know, man. It has
slowed
clouded
down
my whole NBA conversation. Every conversation I have is about SGA.
Because they slowed down the shot the other night when he went up for that shot. The guy just stood there and like, what's happening here? And like, we were watching it live, and I'm like, that's the type of play that he can't do because there was zero contact and he fell and they called the foul. I'm like, that's what. And my buddy's watching with me. He goes, yeah, I can't argue that. And I'm like, Yeah, it's just tough to watch.
But I think the hate for SGA, like I don't know about the hate for SGA. I'm not a huge NBA fan, right?
And it's their whole team, yeah.
But you guys know that.
Yeah.
Guys like me don't know that. We know Wemby looks pretty cool, and I want to watch that guy play. And now I'm taking myself out of the equation because the Knicks are involved. I'm watching regardless of what happens. But if it's Oklahoma City Thunder and the Knicks, how many like Bob Fescoes out there are going to be dying to watch that game? But if it's Wemby out there, they're like, I want to see this kid play.
Yeah. Both are going to have great draws. But I mean, OKC and San Antonio have amazing ratings. So.
And let alone New York's in it.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
just the Knicks, just New York.
Yeah.
Coming up on the other side, we get into Start Bench Cut, brought to you by Jay's Southland Tow. Getting to know with Jay's Southland Tow. Start Bench Cut, holiday weekend playoffs, Knicks in 4. Who knows where we're going to go next? Give me some of them biscuits. Here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
This is Fescoe and Dusty.
Brett Veach has the most underrated chest I've ever seen.
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan. Fescoe and Dusty is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and fellas, I get it. Sometimes you don't want to be told the truth because you're hiding behind your emotions or your insecurities. It's fine. But you know what? The truth is, ED can ruin the moment, and nobody wants that. Not you, not your significant other, because it's not always about you. But when you're getting intimate with your partner and you aren't able to perform the way that you used to or the way that you're able to, there can really be frustrating times. But at Heartland Men's Health, they're here to settle those frustrating times. There are a wide range of advanced treatment options for every stage of ED that can help you get back to performing again. Heartland Men's Health uses advanced medical science to empower male performances with therapies that go far beyond pills. Heartland Men's Health is successfully treating men in the Kansas City area. So, call them today and find out why their advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. They have an expert staff, and if you are like a lot of men, you could be having sex the day after your appointment. They have 3 locations to serve you: Overland Park, Kansas; Independence, Missouri, between Blue Springs and Lee Summit; and in North Kansas City. So call them today at 844-447-6600 or visit them at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Hey Kansas City, it's Jeff Briggs with Victory CDJ Art the Legends. Once again, we are taking the hassle out of car buying with the Victory Scavenger Hunt. Folks, as always, our hunts are different. We put the price right at your fingertips with our Let's Do Business guarantee. Like walking up to select Ram 1500s, subtracting $18,000 from the sticker, and let's do business. It's that simple. Just visit VictoryMotorsKC.com and click on the large Scavenger Hunt banners directly on our homepage. That's VictoryMotorsKC.com, where our first price is better than their last.
Baseball season is in full swing, and that means the summer heat is coming. The guys at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years, and they know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830. 816-265-2830 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hi, folks. Bob, Blue Springs Ford. Hey, Blaine, I know we've got employee pricing going on right now for everyone, but what's the difference in pricing?
Great question. 2026 Escape starting at $26,000.
That's thousands of dollars off.
2026 Expeditions?
Oh, I know this is going to be good.
How about up to $10,000 off MSRP? And Lightning up to $18,000 off. Plus, you get a lifetime powertrain warranty for free.
Folks, go to BlueSpringsFord.com right now, because this ends soon.
Summer means longer days and more deals at Lowe's. This Memorial Day, shop Miracle-Gro 0.75 cubic foot garden soil, 5 bags for $10. Plus, get select 1.5-gallon red, white, and blue annuals hanging baskets, 2 for $15 to show off your favorite plants. Stop traffic with stunning landscaping and save while you do it. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
Royals coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
At Metal by the Foot, we pride ourselves on delivering the highest quality metal to meet your exact needs. Located in Casey and Topeka, online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Missouri side 70 westbound, still off again, on again, heavy from Lee's Summit Road out towards the Blue Ridge cutoff with an accident now just blocking the right lane. Northland 169 highway southbound, heavy on the 29 interchange down towards Briarcliff with an accident reporting. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
The Cody and Gold Garage Sale benefiting the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum is on Wednesday, June 10th on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Here's Fescoe, Dusty, and Mac with this week's edition of Start, Bench, Cut.
Great little stat from X. Twitter handle called Only in Boston. I just told Bob this during the break. The Minnesota Twins released David Ortiz because they didn't want to pay him around $2 million. So the Red Sox would go ahead and sign him for $1.25 million. The Red Sox would get 541 career home runs, 3 World Series titles, and Big Papi would be born in Boston. One of the greatest bargains in sports history.
It looks
Not
like
bad.
the
Not
best
bad.
bargain.
Not bad.
Probably the best bargain in sports history. I mean, you'd really have to find somebody who did something better than David Ortiz on the field and then figure out what they gave up for him, because that's a prime example of, and this is going to come back to the Chiefs, shocking, like the situation affects the player more than the player affects the situation. He was in a bad situation in Minnesota, got to a good situation in Boston, and was able to do his thing. Just like these kids who were drafted from Clemson last year by the Chiefs, the defensive line, Peter Woods this year. Everybody's talking about how he would have been the best, lineman in the draft a year ago, and then something happened this year. All the Clemson guys kind of fell. Something happened at Clemson, getting those guys now out of that program and on their own, probably similar to what we saw with David Ortiz moving on to Boston. Situations are everything for people.
Had a really good spread at my buddy's Memorial Day party, but I always have to beg the question, who's going to bring the worst things? Now,
Harrington.
Shout out to our friend Kayla. She made a rendition of deviled eggs. They were hot dog style. So she made classic deviled eggs, put a little smoky on top, but seared them in a pan, and then put a sweet pickle relish on top. It was like a hot dog deviled egg. It's slammed, dude. So start, bench, cut, veggie tray, fruit tray, or the dip tray.
I'm going to start the veggie, cut the fruit, I'm going to start the veggie, bench the fruit, and cut the dip. Yeah.
I'll start the veggie, bench the dip, cut the fruit. Yep.
See, I'm starting fruit all day. To me, there's just nothing better than like a pool party, and you can go inside and get like a cantaloupe or a watermelon slice or something like that, and then it's just like refreshing and all that sort of thing.
That's true.
But again, okay. When it comes to the pool or the lake or the wherever you are floating in water, start, bench, cut. The raft, the noodle, or the mat.
Hey, so the mat are like the ones that you can put in between your legs and it turns into a seat, where you kind of straddle it like a saddle almost. Is that because I'll start that? That's
the ones you can just like two people can, pretty much just post up on it if you wanted to, like the big rubber mats.
Okay, the big rubber mat. Okay, yeah, I'll still go with that, but I like the ones that you sit on the kind of like saddle style. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
The raft will be last, and so I'll probably start the mat, bench the noodle, and then cut the raft.
Yeah, 100%. Catch me on a mat. Catch me on a mat, baby. Just a little bit of water in there on my back, laying up. Yeah, that's me.
Catch me on a mat. How about that? She's now Amber Rose. I don't know if you saw that this weekend.
I did. Yes, I did.
Interesting.
Very.
All right. So then sunscreen obviously is a vital thing to have in the summertime. Are you spray sunscreen, the classic in the bottle, put it between your hands, rub it on the skin, or they have this new roll-on sunscreen.
Really?
It looks like a deodorant stick.
Oh.
You can use it for your face. You can
Don't
use
trust
it for your
it.
neck. Okay, yeah.
I'll miss spots. I feel like I'll roll that on, and then it'll be like...
Because I'm a psycho. I hold my breath and spray my face for like 5 seconds, And then I'll like let it go. And you're like, why don't you just use the roll-on or the? I'm like, because it doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't want to look like Carter Jensen, but not eye black, just like a sunburn spot.
I've got a whole routine with sunscreen. So you're either asking the right person or the extreme wrong person on this one. I mean, we import our sunscreen from Europe because it's better than the American stuff here. Stuff they give us in this country.
What are you paying for that?
It's about $20 a bottle. It's about the same.
Sunscreen's expensive, bros.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't know it was, so I got some this week, and I was like, holy cow. I was like $12.99?
Yeah.
I got to apply this every 80 minutes?
Yeah, exactly. you got to use a lot of it. So I will take the cream, and I'll do my face with that, right? Cover myself up with that. Then, if I'm not going to keep like a towel on my legs or a long sleeve shirt or something, then I'll spray my whole body or spray myself and have my wife kind of rub it in on my back. The roll-on I would be, because I would absolutely miss. I feel like that wouldn't be effective.
Looking like John Randall?
Yeah, right, exactly. Except it's all sunscreen. It's sunburn.
The roll-on kind of seems gross to me. I don't know. I'm just thinking about all of it touching like your skin and then putting it back in there, and then like it's just like gross.
Oh, I never even thought about that. Yeah, it's got to be your own sunscreen roller.
Yeah, I'm not letting anyone else use it. So I'm cutting that. I used both spray
like
and
chapstick. I can't stand when people like, you need my No.
As long as you use like your finger.
I'll start the spray.
Yeah, I'm a big spray guy.
Yep.
All right, hot day with water in your future. What hits better? The cold beer, the cold canned cocktail like a Surfside, or a mixed cocktail?
Yeah, I'm going to start the cold canned cocktail. I told you I discovered those Quirk THCs this weekend. Nice. Very nice cocktail. Then I'll go with a mixed drink, and then beer I'm out on. It's just not my thing anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, give me a Surfside all day. Yep, was doing that over the weekend for sure.
Yeah, Daddy.
Then yeah, mixed drink, and yeah, cold beer is still great, but yeah, I'll cut that.
On the cookout, start bench cut, ribs, burgers, dogs, Polish.
Oh, damn, I forgot your Tupperware. Son of a...
Ooh, I have that too.
Yeah, I've been thinking it's sitting there.
Not sure when
like,
I'll see you guys again.
Yeah.
Ribs, burgers, dogs, etc., or somebody makes a brisket or a pork butt.
I think the burgers and dogs are the easiest, and everybody likes that. So I'll go burgers and dogs. I'll bench the ribs, and then I'll cut the brisket or the pulled pork. That's the most... I don't want to say the most complicated, but it sure seems like it's the most complicated.
Yeah, I'll start burgers, dogs, too. I'm going to bench the brisket pulled pork just because I think it's got a much better floor than ribs. I just think ribs have a lower floor. I'm maybe a little pickier with ribs. I mean, if Dusty's make them, it's going to be great. The floor is way better. But, yeah, I just feel like ribs can go wrong easier, so I'll cut those.
Okay.
Yeah, I made wings this weekend.
Hell yeah.
Brought back some jerk seasoning rub from Jamaica. Put those on the wings and then shook them in a Ziploc bag, put them on the smoker, then transferred them to the grill and put a marinade on them from Hy-Vee. It's called Caribbean Kick. I suggest everyone go get chicken or like pork chops, marinate them in like that Caribbean Kick marinade from Hy-Vee. Solid. Solid.
Sounds good.
Okay, next team to make it since the Knicks are in the finals. The Bills to the Super Bowl, the Lions to the Super Bowl, or the Jets just make the playoffs?
I'm going to go in that order. I'm going to start the Bills, bench the Lions, cut the Jets. It's easier to make it into the playoffs, but I do think the Bills and Lions could make the Super Bowl before the Jets make it back to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I'll go Bills, Lions, Jets. I'm sorry, Jets. Got to cut you.
Let's go greatest Nick of all time, Brunson, Ewing, or Frazier.
Okay, Frazier's the star,
Okay.
but I got to wait to see what happens. If Brunson wins this, then yes, he's above Ewing. But he's not above Ewing right now because of longevity. Okay. So I'm hedging my bet until if they win the championship, he'd be knocking on Clyde Frazier's door.
And Clyde's the man.
Clyde may open that door. He may be like George was. Somebody else finally do something, you know?
Like when George, or what is it, Ned, when he opened the door to Gordon's Hall of Fame video?
Yeah.
About time you got here.
Yeah, Clyde's one of the GOATs, so I'll have to start him still. I'll bench Patrick, but I don't know, man. I don't even think they need to win for Jalen to go above him.
You don't?
No, I do not.
Just based on where we are in time he's playing now,
Yeah,
Ewing's kind of a forgotten guy.
And also, like, Brunson's, I don't know, like, he's getting better. Each time I think it's done, he gets better. He keeps taking levels up.
He's unbelievable now.
Yeah, he is.
It's all about the fourth quarter. Like, he is embodying everything that the Yankees fans want Judge to do. Like, cool, 55 home runs. Can you just show up in the playoffs?
That's true.
Brunson kind of goes through the regular season. He's kind of maybe not forgotten, but he's not the guy that everybody's like putting their attention towards. And then the playoffs starts like, well, it's fourth quarter. It's Jalen time. And boy, is it.
It's funny. You can kind of relate the Knicks and the Chiefs a little bit because Knicks fans were bitching all regular season long about how awful this team was. Then they get to the playoffs, and here they are. Exactly. Sounds like what we do in the regular season, right? Certain teams are just built to turn it on when you get to the postseason. The regular season is just filler to get to the postseason. Now, you got to make sure you take care of business, which the Chiefs did not. But, like, when you have a team like the Knicks or the Spurs or the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Chiefs, the Bills, the hell with the regular season. They're just tuning up to get you into the postseason.
All right, you know the meme that you see all the time of the seats on the plane. Where do you pick?
Oh, yeah.
All right, courtside, Garden. Who you sitting next to? Chalamet, Spike, or Tracy?
Okay, I'm starting Chalamet because the other two don't sit down or shut up the entire time.
Tracy Morgan just might make me laugh the whole time.
Oh, Tracy would make me laugh, but I'm watching that game yesterday, and Spike's in row 2, and this dude would not sit down. He's the only one standing. Like, if you're behind Spike Lee and a Cavs fan, this guy doesn't sit the entire game.
Well, they don't need to watch anything.
No, if I'm Spike Lee, I walk in, I go, hey, dude, you know who I am. I don't sit. I apologize ahead of time. Here's $100. Go take care of the beer for the night. Okay, that's fine. That's
I'm going to do the right thing and buy your drinks
That's
tonight.
exactly right, yeah.
Fight the power.
That dude does not sit the entire time.
Luckily, he's only 5'8".
He would wear me out. Let me go with Timmy. Let me go with Tracy Morgan. Let me go Spike Lee. Even though I'm not turning my nose down to any of them.
Right.
But, man, Spike wore me out last night.
No, it's a lot. It's a lot, especially when it's not at the Garden and he's not courtside. It's row 2 because they weren't letting anyone sit courtside. Kind of felt like yesterday. I'll start Timmy too, but just because Kylie might be there as well, so I'll get a chance to sit next to her.
The Tracy Morgan would have me laughing the entire time.
Like that time he puked?
I forgot about that.
Yeah. He's like, I didn't throw up. Okay, that's
right,
fine.
man.
Sure he didn't. That is Start Bench Cut, brought to you by Jay Southland Tow. Get in the know with Jay Southland Tow. The fear of 09 is happening in 26. I'll explain here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Kansas City Royals.
Hey, it's Vinny Pasquantino, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Dusty
Telly Tire when it comes to
baseball is underway. I know it. You know it. I've seen all your gorgeous pictures, and you know I'm referencing Surfside iced tea and vodka or a Surfside lemonade and vodka. They're smooth, and they're refreshing and perfectly made for game day. Surfside is the perfect match for the ballpark or catching the game at home. Surfside is only 100 calories with 0 bubbles, so it goes down easy with 0 troubles. It's not a seltzer. It's Surfside. Proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Must be 21 and older. Please drink responsibly.
Hi, I'm Katie, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. Daydreaming about bringing your engagement ring vision to life? As a jewelry consultant, I'm here to help. Compare ring styles side by side. They're in stock and ready to try on. Then customize it with an engraving or decorative crown. At Shane Company, there are so many ways to create your dream ring at your dream price. Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com because a friend wants you to get exactly what you want. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Chris Stegall lied about President Trump.
Donald Trump's not a conservative. I will not support Donald Trump.
And now he's lying about Nathan Willett.
Woke Willett spent $631,000 of your money on transgender outreach programs.
Those are flat-out lies from Chris Stegall, who attacks President Trump. And here's the proof. He voted against trans surgeries and trans bathrooms. Nathan Willett is a Christian, conservative, and seventh-generation North Missourian.
I'm Nathan Willett. I'll fight for President Trump, and I approve this message. Paid for by Nathan Willett for Congress.
The Kansas City Auto Show is back, taking over the Overland Park Convention Center with more brands, more test drives, free parking, and all new family-friendly features. Get your tickets now at kcautoshow.com. The Kansas City Auto Show, June 4th through 7th.
At Telly Tire, when it comes to car problems, we've heard it all. From tires to timing belts to faulty air conditioning. Ooh. At Telly Tire and Auto Centers, we've been fixing problems like these and customers' bad days for over 80 years. So relax and take it to Telly. Schedule your service at teletire.com.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Another app for inventory, one for CRM. Oh, don't forget accounting. Wait, which login was that?
Or you could use Odoo, one fully integrated system that does it all without the hassle. Ditch the app overload. Get everything your business needs on one platform. Try Odoo free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
It's Carrington Harrison from The Drive. If anyone knows about sports fans, it's me. I get to live and breathe the excitement of the season all year long. For advertisers, that passion matters. It's exactly why sports radio performs for brands. People who listen to sports on the radio, via streaming, or on sports podcasts are nearly 3 times more likely to consider a brand that supports their favorite team. If you're interested in reaching sports fans, we have the playbook for you. Check out our comprehensive ebook, State of Audio Sports Fandom. Check out stateofaudio.com.
Steve here with Connolly Plumbing Solutions. Outside faucets are annoying. We are currently running our outside faucet replacement special of $399 with access. Visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com to schedule.
Mia from the Winnings Desk. Every Missouri lottery ticket helps support Missouri public education. Over $8 billion and counting. I was going to list every school, but yeah, there's over 2,400 of them. See the full list at molottery.com/education. Play it forward and play responsibly.
You've heard Cody and I talk about our friends over at Centric, and they're gearing up for an AI sales event on Thursday, May 28th.
They'll teach you how to use AI as a daily sales assistant, draft emails, prep calls, maybe do prospect research, strengthen follow-ups, or even apply AI to help you analyze deals and pipelines. They can do all of that over at Centric.
They'll even help you build repeatable AI sales workflows that support your daily selling activities. So take part in the AI sales event over at Centric, Thursday, May 28th. Go to Centric.com.
Today, expect a partly sunny day with a high of 85.
Weather brought to you by Capital One. Capital One offers no fees or minimums on checking accounts. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank guide. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
The countdown to the World Soccer Championship is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. From here, for wherever you are, that's the benefit of blue. Visit bluekc.com/benefit of blue for more information. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Nine o'clock hour rolling along on 96.5 The Fan. Bob Fescoe, Mac Morey, Dusty Likens, all with you on this wonderful Tuesday. This week's going to fly by. You'll love to see it. You're going to be in Washington come Friday.
Yeah, leaving Thursday after the
Who
show.
are they playing?
San Diego.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Padres.
Will you see Tatis's first home run?
Maybe. I don't know. Hopefully he doesn't hit one between now and then, right?
Would you trade Reagans and Bubich for Tatis?
Yes.
Ooh, yeah. How old's Tatis?
28.
He's in his prime, right?
28. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm in on that.
Yeah.
Sounds like him and San Diego are set for a divorce.
It
very
sure
shortly.
seems like it, doesn't it, Dusty? I mean,
saw the lollygag play where the inside the park home run happened, and then hasn't hit a home run, and all this sort of stuff. And
speaking of lollygag,
that's your outfield bat.
Yeah, but that's your bat right there. It changes scenery, right? Just like we talked about with Clemson, we talked about it with Big Papi.
Grew up in St. Louis.
Yeah, sometimes a change of scenery is something that
I
that
think
you
I don't
need,
know. His
right?
dad played in St.
His dad
Louis,
played
like,
there. Yeah.
Who knows if he was even alive when his dad was playing in St.
I
Louis?
guess that he was.
I mean, 27 years ago when he hit the 2 grand
I was
slams
saying when he
in
hit
one
the
inning.
2 grand slams. How many years ago was that?
Was that 97, 98?
Yeah, probably just right before that he was born, you know. Maybe it was even before that, but yeah, whether or not he grew up in St. Louis, I don't care. I want him here. I'd take him in a heartbeat. He makes your organization better. And 99. Okay, so how does that hurt your organization right now? It doesn't. This team should be trying everything, and really, other than Bobby Witt Jr. at this point in time, everybody should be considered up to be available and to be traded because you're not winning games right now. There's no reason to hang on to anybody other than Bobby Witt Jr. at this point in time if you can turn a player around and get something good and something that you need to help your organization take the next step. You brought up the Greinke stuff, and we'll get back into that. But, I mean, maybe that's the type of move that you're looking at in the future with Bobby Witt Jr., because it may get to the point where he tells you he ain't re-signing here. He's going to opt out, and so you may be forced to have to make a trade of something like that for Bobby Witt Jr. I don't want to be at that point in time, but, I mean, here we sit. I don't think anybody anticipated this ball club being as bad as they are at this point in time. So, yeah, to the original point, Tatis, hell yeah, I'd make that trade. Change of scenery could be good for him.
You look at what Bobby Witt Jr. is doing this year and just kind of brainstorming over the weekend. I'm thinking to myself, like, what does this year mean for Royals fans as of right now? They're 22-33, 9 games out of first place. Cleveland can't lose. Now they're hitting their stride, so that sucks. Detroit's all but done. They're
done.
They're going to start shipping away. I think they're going to be the team that moves first.
Watch them fire their manager and him get hired in Houston next year.
And going back for a reunion?
Why not? They're not doing great in Houston right now, right? They haven't really wanted to fire AJ Hinch, but if this Tiger team takes a sideways turn and doesn't move in the right direction, you could absolutely see them firing Hinch, and then Houston saying, "Hey, you know what? We never really wanted to fire you. We have an opening now because our team isn't doing all that well. Would you like to come back to Houston?" They're 24-31, so now they have won 4 in a row, but there's still a good chance that they make a move at the end of this season. Maybe AJ Hinch goes back to Houston.
Yeah, they have a team in the Athletics that are leading the division at 27-27, so they're a little bit fortunate out there in the West. I said Cleveland can't keep losing because remember we were saying nobody is above 500 in the AL Central. It's just a dog water division.
Right.
They're now 32-24.
Right.
So it's clicking in Cleveland, which you hate to see that. White Sox in second, Twins in third, Royals in fourth, Detroit's done. But the wild card's interesting because I saw an article this week and it was like you could get in the wild card at like a 75-win team in the AL.
I saw that too.
And I'm like, it doesn't necessarily not make sense. Like it's plausible. We still haven't got to June yet, but I know we'll be there very shortly. But what this season and what Bobby Witt Jr. is doing is giving me a lot of deja vu of what Zach Greinke did in 2009. Bobby Witt Jr., obviously in the middle of his prime, he is, really playing really, really good baseball. And I think he's now on the stage, obviously 24 years old. I believe he'll be 25 in just a few short weeks. Bobby Witt Jr. will be. And I think that when you look at what Bobby Witt Jr. is doing this year, it's giving me a lot of similarities to what Greinke did in 09. So the team in 09, I think, won 65 games, and coincidentally, Vern said this team is on pace to win 65 games this year. And when Zach Greinke was doing his thing in 09, which was the Cy Young year where he was just insane every time he went out, we went to games, like as a father-son duo, because if Zach Greinke was pitching, we went. 25,000 people would go see it, and as the season progressed, more and more people would go, and you're like, why is the crowd so big? 23's on the mound. And now you're getting people that might be hate watching. I'm glad they're still watching. I am a degenerate. I will watch every night. Tonight I'll have the game on, and I'll flip back and forth from the NBA and the Royals. I won't miss a Royals game. Like, I interrupted yesterday when Sal hit the home run to make it 2-2. I'm like, hey, the Royals are fighting. It's 2-2 in the top of the 8th, and then we hear Bobby hit the home run and everything, and then it's completely over after that. But I think a lot of people now, instead of watching maybe what this team can do, now their focus is going to be at what is Bobby Witt Jr. going to do. And according to DraftKings, the odds right now for MVP, Aaron Judge is your leader for some odd reason at minus 135. The only category that he is first in, which is only in the AL, is runs scored. But he's minus 135 to win the MVP. Bobby Witt Jr. is in second at plus 350. I believe Yordan Alvarez from your said Houston Astros is in third place at plus 650. And then Nick Kurtz, the big Amish out for the Athletics, is in fourth, but it's plus 1,000. So Bobby Witt Jr.'s number is diminished, or I guess is shrinking more and more as we go on. At 1 week, it was plus 1,200. Then it was like plus 850. And now he's at plus 350. Bobby Witt Jr., again, you can have the discussion that we had in football 2 years ago with Joe Burrow, who was putting up these ungodly numbers of 4,000 plus and 30 touchdowns and all these yards to Jamar Chase. You're like, how's Joe Burrow not the MVP? Well, he's not winning his division. I think football and baseball is different. I think stats-driven in baseball kind of take away what maybe a team is doing. Obviously, if Zach Greinke can win the Cy Young, but he had a 2.16 ERA, and the team lost 97 games. That's what I fear about this year, is that you're going to get to like the loser side of the bracket where it's like, well, the team's not doing anything, but by gosh, every night I'm watching, I'm going to see Bobby Witt Jr. hitting the bottom of the first. I'm going to go do something. I know he's going to be up again in the bottom of the third. I'm going to watch Bobby Witt Jr. And I just, as a Royals fan growing up, that's what I always hated, was that I would tell people, like, they'd always ask, and they still ask to this day, Dusty, why do you keep watching? Because I'm a fan, and two, because I like to see what this team can do, or maybe they'll get out of this funk. And I think now a lot of people, like maybe in the early 2000s, when you were watching to see what Beltran might do, or what Mike Sweeney might do, or what Zach Greinke might do, now we're still doing that, and it's deja vu. It just so happens to enter the name of Bobby Witt Jr. Because when he is up, it's like, I don't know what he's going to, he's either going to hit a double, he's either going to hit 112 miles per hour to the left field fence to give him the lead in the bottom of the eighth, and then it just gets diminished. But yet, at the end of the day, you're like, yeah, the team lost, the record sucks, but man, Bobby Witt Jr. sure is something to watch.
Yeah, he really is something to watch, and that's the sad part about this right now, is because Bobby Witt Jr. is awesome. And, watching the game yesterday on ESPN, again, why I like getting the different perspectives, they talked about Bobby for a long period of time yesterday in glowing fashion and how awesome he is. And they say, other than Ohtani, and I'm fine removing Ohtani from the conversation because he literally does something that no other athlete can do. And so you've got to remove him from the conversation when you're talking about the best of, to have an equal kind of conversation. It's like we remove Mahomes from all those conversations, in the years. And they were saying Bobby Witt would be the number one overall pick in baseball if we had a dispersal draft right now. If everybody was available in a draft, Bobby Witt Jr. would be that number one pick, and rightfully so. The problem is, and it's a great comparison with Greinke in 2009, we're wasting all of this because this organization is not set up to win with Bobby Witt Jr. They just don't have the right pieces in place. And I know it looked completely different than what it did at the beginning of the year and where we are now, but that's also on the organization to have, vision of the future, to understand when players may have reached their max capacity. And yeah, hindsight is 20/20, and I do believe that Vinny is still the soul of this team because, look, he's not producing right now. They're 10 games under 500. If Vinny was producing right now, I guarantee you they wouldn't be 10 games under 500. But Vinny, you probably should have sold high last offseason. Looking back, right? Looking back, you probably should have sold high on Vinny Pasquantino, made Jack Caglione your everyday first baseman, and then found an outfielder and went out and maybe made another trade for an outfielder, or maybe the trade that you made for Vinny could have brought you in an outfielder. They hung on to all these guys. They didn't make any adjustments this offseason. They replaced nameless, faceless major leaguers with more nameless, faceless major leaguers. And this is a ball club that, now that they don't have the White Sox to beat up on anymore, is showing who they truly are. And it's not a very good ball club around Bobby Witt Jr. Imagine if we did to Patrick Mahomes what they did last year to Patrick Mahomes when it came to weapons and the way that they played every year. That's essentially now what the Royals are doing to Bobby Witt Jr. And I don't think it's a very good situation in which to put Bobby in. And it's not a situation where if I'm Bobby Witt Jr., I want to be part of this organization moving forward because you're not surrounding me and you're not maximizing my talent. Look, the Bills have figured to do it with Josh Allen. The Bengals have done it now with Joe Burrow. We're seeing the Chiefs do it and have done it with Patrick Mahomes. When you have that special player, you have got to surround them with special players to give them that opportunity to reach their goals and your goals as an organization. And the Royals just haven't done a good enough job in the front office of surrounding Bobby Witt Jr. with special players to help him take that next level. He needs help, folks, a lot of it right now, offensively.
Yeah, I kind of almost wish now that like this rendition of the Royals, as we've talked about, has been defensively so great, and the pitching has been there, but we haven't had the bats. I almost want at this point for them to be like, you know what? Let's figure out the arms with Jags and normal major leaguers like you were mentioning, like we're doing with outfielders, and let's go spend the money or let's go spend the assets, resources on a Tatis or a bat, and let's have Bobby have that offensive star next to him because that would be one, selfishly, extremely fun, but secondly, I think probably more conducive to actually winning baseball.
Absolutely. And even if you thought Salvi was going to be that guy, he's still 36 or 37 years old. You still needed somebody else. Where I get angry at, and again, this is my style of baseball versus whatever crap they're rolling out. And my style of baseball always was, when I was a kid, you knew who was playing left, you knew who was playing center, you knew who was playing right, you knew all the diamond, you memorized the lineup as a kid. It was the same thing every single day. Baseball players, at least the way that I remember it up until recently, were never told they can't. They were always told, get out there and fail, and then learn from your mistakes and fail again and continue to learn from mistakes. But they were never told they can't. And in this era of baseball, we do an amazing job of telling players they can't do something before we allow them to see if they can do something. And that's what they're doing with Jack Caglione right now. Absolute blasphemy, the way that Q managed that game last night in the 8th and 9th inning. That was disgusting. You had a lead in that game. What a better opportunity to give Jack Caglione an opportunity against a tough lefty than in a game in which you had the lead. It wasn't like you needed to pinch hit to come up with a big hit or anything like that. You had the lead, and allegedly your closer was coming in the 9th inning. That signs me up for saying, let's let Cag sit here and see what he can do. Because worst case scenario is he doesn't get on base, but we still have his defense in the bottom of the 9th inning out there in right field. So you pinch hit for the guy, you lost his bat, you lost his confidence, you took his defense out of the game, and you ultimately lost the game. And that all goes back to the manager. That's my opinion on that one, right? I want to go to a game where I know we've got major league outfielders and we're not platooning, because when you're platooning guys, you're telling us they're not full-time Major League Baseball players. And if they're not full-time Major League Baseball players, then why are you on the roster?
I mean, it's interesting because we talk about the Royals and we talk about Bobby Witt Jr. and obviously the ESPN were talking about him. They asked if, other than Ohtani, the best player in Major League Baseball, we get the overall pick, would be Bobby Witt Jr. And we know that he has that opt out that we've talked about, numerous times, where like if the team is not shown, then obviously you just kind of alluded to that. But I think the other thing too about it is that if this season is 55 games in, and what you're doing isn't working, then you need a shakeup.
Yes.
Like Vern said earlier, I thought it was great where he said, the Ibanez speech, like nobody fears anybody on this team other than number 7. And maybe what you do is, instead of maybe sending Sal and Vinny down to like 7 and 8, you let Bobby Witt Jr. lead off and let him get as many at-bats as he possibly can.
Absolutely.
Or if Vern's thing is, and I know this was part of our hot take, Chick-fil-A thing Thursday at the C Union Major Leagues Foundation, but like if Cags is terrible with runners in scoring position, or worse on the team, as Vern said, then lead Cags off and let Bobby hit second. Then you have no issue with Cags with runners in scoring position. And then it's like, all right, kid, now you're going to get 5 at-bats a game. We're 22 and 33. Hell, go change it. Go do whatever. And then Bobby hits second. If you don't like Michael Garcia hitting third, then let Michael hit fourth and put somebody else there. But it's something, right? Like, because what you're doing right now isn't working. And if your veterans aren't playing and they're supposed to, because I'm with Vern, I think this roster is good. I know it's good.
I agree.
But I just think that with the inconsistencies of what we're seeing, and we know how this works, when things start going awry and start going bad, things start to develop that normally aren't there. Connor Embry, right? Pinkston, whatever those guys' names were. It was like 6 and 11. Well, those guys were on those teams in the 3-year run that they went to the Super Bowl, but ain't nobody talking about it. Now all of a sudden, and maybe that's unfair to say nobody was talking about it, but now all of a sudden you go 6 and 11. It's like, who's our wide receiver coach?
Right. When you lose,
who's our running back coach? Yep. And you immediately make changes because you don't want to fall back into that. Now the Chiefs have had history of being successful consistently, and the Royals have had a few blips where they're like, okay, maybe this team can do this. But again, it goes back to, at what point, when you tell yourself, when you're trying to lose weight, you're like, whatever I'm doing is not working. Okay, I'm going to start jogging instead of power walking. I'm going to start eating rice cakes instead of lettuce. I don't know, but I've got to do something because what I'm currently doing is not working. And before you know it, you're too far gone. And then when you try to do these things too late, it's like a give up of hope instead of give up of change.
Yeah, but also, too, though, like if they lose 90 games, and you guys have both said that you believe this roster is talented, maybe we've all misread the roster. Maybe we have. Maybe Salvi got old, and we're watching that. Maybe Vinny was peaked in year 2 guy. Maybe Michael Garcia got paid and, not running around the bases the other day is a very bad sign. Jack Caglione, I need to know more about what Vern was talking about, him pouting. You and I were talking about that in the break. Does anybody know, any listeners about that, what he was talking about? Vern mentioned that Cags was pouting. And so is that playing a role right now? If I was Cags, I'd be pouting as well. I'm not getting my opportunities to go out there and see what I can do. You're telling me that I can't do something.
Not really pouting if it's justified. Like if I have
well,
a reason.
That's fair.
You know what
too,
I mean?
Yeah.
If you're complaining and whining, do something about it. Well, I have done what I can control.
Right.
Give me the chance.
Give me the chance. I can't do anything else because I'm not getting an opportunity to do that. I mean, everybody's probably been in that experience where your bosses try to hold you back a little bit, and you're like, no, I want this opportunity. Let me run through the door. It took Dusty 10 years, and he ran through the door. Was Q managing here for a while? But, I mean, it's to the point now where, like, if they do lose 90 games this season, you can't run this back. You know, I got a text from a former big leaguer this morning, a friend of mine. He's like, look, man, you got to fire somebody to let these guys know that losing is not okay. You got to let these guys know that this is not going to be accepted. And the longer you go where changes are not made, you're telling your fans, you're telling your players, you're telling everybody with this organization that losing is okay. Because you're not doing anything to change that. You're allowing this to go. The Phillies fired their manager. They went 16-4 in the 20 games after they fired their manager because they sent a message that losing is not okay. The Royals, by having status quo, they're sending the message that this is fine. We're okay. Everything's good. And nothing's going to change. Yep. You're not firing somebody because you think, all of a sudden, we're a championship team. You're firing somebody to send a message that this crap is not okay. And then to have that entire crowd cheering, let's go Yankees yesterday, John Sherman should be embarrassed by that.
Yeah, and to do another Chiefs comparison, like they don't have that history to say, okay, well, we actually trust the guys in charge, the coaching staff. They have the history, they have the success. We know it's these position coaches. We're going to say, okay, it was a positional coaching issue on offense and a talent issue on the defense, and we're going to go forward like that because they have 5 Super Bowl appearances and 3 wins and all those things. There's not that success in this team to say, okay, well, it was the talent, or no, actually it was just the hitting coach. Q's job more and more this season transpires is going to be talked about, and that seat is going to get hotter and hotter because there aren't any other fallbacks or positions to go to. Well, it was the talent, or well, the hitting coach, because they haven't had the success. Barely being over 500 2 years ago and making second in the ALDS and having a decent playoff run isn't enough. And again, to make the Chiefs comparison, the clock is ticking. You have an all-time player here. 6-11 is unacceptable. People will be fired. People will lose their jobs.
And it happened.
And get ready. If it's 6 to 10 wins or 6 to 8 wins, rather, this year, it'll happen again. And that needs to be the attitude and the urgency over on the other side of the parking lot.
Well, the Chiefs aren't afraid to win. The Royals are afraid to win. That's what it is. The Royals are scared to go out there and win.
Yep.
Because
they're trying to not lose.
That's exactly what happens when you play the prevent defense, Mac, right? You prevent yourself an opportunity from winning. But that's what they're doing right now. They're afraid to win, and they're afraid to push all the chips in and go for it. I can tell you right now, anything you do is going to be fine other than trading Bobby because this city does not like this team at all.
To give reference to what Vern is mentioning, I texted to reach out. He said it was after a play. It's kind of been a few times this season where he's shown that, and Vern thinks that's what could cause playing time. Because I will say this to defend Vern, as I
okay, I'm in though. I mean,
so here, okay, Jack, you know my fandom for you. You don't have the clout yet to do that. And there are times when I was young in radio, and I'd go in the boss's office, John Hanson. I'd say, "When is it my turn?" And he'd say, "What have you done to tell me that you should do that?" And I'd be like, "Well, I produced some Rockers games." He's like, "Okay, but what about airtime? Well, how many air checks have you given me?" And I'd walk out of his office with my head down like, this guy sucks. And then it was like, well, what did I just show him by looking defeated and not going like, you know what? I'm going to go right into the recording. I'm going to do a 5-minute air check for you. I'm going to send it to your desk, and then I'm going to go on to my day. So I understand, like, if you're pouting, you can't do that, man. Like, you just, it sucks that you're not playing. I get that. But, like, don't give him any more reason not to play you, if that makes sense.
No, I get you, Dusty. I'm with you. Look, if he's pouting out there, A, knock it off.
Yeah.
B, you kind of understand. And like there's both sides. I get it, bro.
See where you're coming from,
but
yeah, totally.
You got to play the game.
You also don't have the clout. You played 189 games in your career. Not even that. You've had 189 bats this year.
Right.
You don't have that. Like if you don't like the result, like chin up. Show that you can handle adversity when you don't need to. So if that's
now the flip side though is what if he's saying I am trying, but they're not allowing me?
Don't show it.
Yeah, it's tough. I get it. I do. I understand it. But as I tell you guys all the time, you got to play the game.
And also, you got to think about it from Jack's perspective. He's probably never been benched in his life.
Ever. But that's also
You know what I mean?
that's also what Major League Baseball players have to deal with, and it's part of growing into the game, those failures. And if we're not going to allow these guys to fail, they're never going to be able to deal with those failures when they do fail or be able to get out of them. And so I get if Jack is ticked, we're all there with you. We all channel our inner Jack Caglione on this one. But I will say, as an old guy now, you got to learn how to play the game. You've got to play the game of life, and you can't upstage your boss. You can't show up other players on the team or, whatever people are upset about it. And if you're doing that kind of stuff, you got to tail that back. If you're hitting 340 and you got 20 home runs and they're still not playing you, it's a different conversation, but you haven't been good enough to be able to pout. But I also understand why he's pouting.
Coming up on the other side, I think I might have my greatest brioche of the weekend. No, it's not Jacob Mizorowski, who now has 100 strikeouts in 64 innings and still throwing 103. I think you guys are going to love this brioche of the weekend that I have that I've yet to tell you guys about here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty, brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, I'll tell you, my friends over at QC Kinetics are saying, hey, man, call us, feel better, because that pain, we need to end that pain right now. And deep down, you need to end that pain. You know it's not normal, and you can get back to the carefree you. Let's get started with an introduction to the medical team at QC Kinetics. They have long-lasting regenerative treatments for joint pain, and it is awesome. They're helping patients with pain from arthritis or injury in their knees, shoulders, hips, and lower back, and now those patients are moving, sleeping, golfing, and running, and they've done it without surgery or long recoveries because the science is real. The treatments are natural. Your body already knows how to heal, and QC Kinetics finally gives it the right tools. No operating room, no hardware, no downtime. Just getting back to being you, the version of you that's carefree and able to do everything. So call QC Kinetics now and get that free consultation because better starts here. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone. 816-412-6299.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens, and driving in this area means navigating everything from busy metro traffic to open Midwest roads, so having the right auto insurance really matters. With AAA, switching today means you could save up to 21% on your auto insurance. AAA offers trustworthy protection, personalized coverage options, and customer service that gives you real peace of mind. And when you bundle policies or insurance multiple vehicles, you can save even more. Visit AAA.com. That's AAA.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things, people,
love.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic, plus get a $300 instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
My dad passed away unexpectedly. Of course, it was awful in every way, but we are very grateful that he had life insurance. So even after he was gone, he was still able to provide for us. And that's why I have life insurance for my family. Ethos.com. They make it fast and easy to get covered. It's 100% online. You get a quote in seconds, and you can apply in minutes. You get covered the same day.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required. Rates may vary.
This is Stories from the Pitch, brought to you by the first ever Infiniti QX65 and by Lowe's. Give your yard its own moment with new limited time deals from Lowe's.
Asia had never hosted a World Soccer Championship. Japan and Korea split the duty, the first co-hosts in history. South Korea, coached by the Dutchman Gus Hiddink, had never won a single World Cup match in their history. They beat Poland, drew with the United States, beat Portugal. In the round of 16, they beat Italy in extra time. Ung Jong-hwan's golden goal, sending 60 million Koreans into the streets in red shirts. Then Spain on penalties. Quarterfinal, semifinal. Germany finally stopped them. Controversial refereeing decisions still echo, but the image that lasted was the Red Devils, an entire peninsula painted with crimson, chanting in unison, finding out who they could be when the world watched.
Stay tuned to this Odyssey station for more Stories from the Pitch.
Brioche of the weekend.
Big brioche guy.
Love that. Yeah, good take.
All right, fellas. Final segment of the show on a Tuesday. Brioche of the weekend presented by the Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2. Bob? I don't know if the brioche of the weekend was in the form of whipped cream, but
it could be. Yeah, it could be. No, I'm going to just give it to brioche of the weekend to my wife. We had a great weekend together, man. We just did a lot of different things. We went to some grad parties. We went and got tacos at San Antonio's. I went to the Keyhole and got my membership there.
Did you do the
orange
sauce on the taco?
Of course. You got to clean out the sinuses. I love it. I don't care. It doesn't matter how hot that is. The drain that you get out of your sinuses
you
when
don't
you
even
eat
need
that
sauce.
I mean, no, you don't. It is fantastic. And so we went down to San Antonio's, got some tacos on Saturday. We went to the Ari, who Jen mentors with See You in the Major Leagues, her graduation party.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was awesome to see her. She's going to UMKC. I'm really proud of her. And she was featured in a story on, I think it was Channel 5 last night, about how now she's become a mentor to like a kindergarten kid.
Love that.
And so you're seeing Dayton's foundation just pay back in so many different ways, and the difference that he makes, still in this community every single day. And I thought that was a great story to see, Ari, who's been a 4-year vet of the See You in the Major Leagues Foundation. She's going to go to UMKC. She's not even graduated yet from high school, and she's already become a mentor to a young kid in that school district over in KCK. So it's remarkable to watch them kind of pay it forward and the difference that they had. And then we went over to the Chain of Rocks Bridge or whatever we're calling it these days out there, which is fantastic. My buddy Jamie's running the bar out there, and
Nice.
it is great. I mean, the atmosphere out there was just calming. May have been the THC quirks, but either way, it was enjoyable. I love it. I encourage everybody to go out there and take part of that. And we just had a great weekend on Sunday at some friend's house and a pool. I mean, it was what a great weekend, man. I couldn't have asked for anything better. I hope you guys had as good a time too.
Had a great weekend. Dr. Mackenstein, your weekend or your brioche?
Yeah, no, I mean, kind of same thing, Bob. Just a great weekend. Went to KC Wine & Co. Love it over there. It was really fantastic. It was dog nights. They brought the doggos. It was good. Had a frozen marg. Had a bottle. It was fantastic. And, yeah, just kind of hanging out, going to the pool. Well, that would be my biggest brioche, honestly, overall. It was a lot of pool time. Went to the Shawnee Mission Beach as well. Did that for a little bit. So, yeah, went to a couple different bodies of water and laid out and tried to get some sun. So, yeah, I'd say summer is the brioche, baby. We're finally here.
Yeah, we made it, right?
We have
We
arrived.
Yep.
I made sure to make that very vocal yesterday in the pool as I had everybody cheers. I'm like, folks,
we're here.
We made it.
And I can tell you, just by looking at the traffic this morning, everybody's made it this summer because it was slow this morning, man.
Love that. So my brioche goes to our friend Linda. You're aware of Miss Linda that goes to all the Royals games, season ticket holder.
Nice.
Very great person. Have not got to meet her yet, but I plan on doing it soon. So I talked on Friday about how I think it's very nice of people to call you by their first name. If they're wearing a name tag, there's a reason why. There's a very wonderful lady named Marge. It's right there in the Diamond Club. When you walk in, she's always dressed to the nines, says hi, smiles.
Marge
very
got me
nicely.
a pie for my birthday during COVID. She's
So
such
how
a
about
sweetheart.
how about this?
That's nice.
Linda sends me a message on Twitter. She goes, "Sorry, not sorry for sliding into your DMs. At a Royals game, and I'm on my way, I shared with Marge that you had mentioned her yesterday and that you called her by her name because she makes your experience great here. She nearly started to cry and was so thankful I shared that with her. Apparently, someone else earlier that day told her that her hair didn't look good."
Oh, come on. Who's doing that to Marge? Are you kidding me?
She goes,
those are fighting words.
"So glad I was listening to that part of the show. Thank you, and we appreciate the show." That comes from our friend Linda. So when somebody made her day wrong, just by saying these things and telling people that you can call them by their first name, give them a smile, and say hi, it can change their day, their month, their week, their year. It's just simply cool to care. So whoever had a comment to, and I texted our friend Emily as well, and I shared her that message because she's always down there as well with Marge. And I said, if I was there, and I mean this on my mother's life, if I was there and heard somebody say that to Marge, they'd have taken me out of Kauffman Stadium in handcuffs and a paddy wagon. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, you don't do that to Marge. You don't do that to
That's
anybody.
insane.
First of all, Marge is one of the sweetest people that I've known for forever. I mean,
that is one of the things that I look forward to more in my games when I go there is when I walk in, the guy at the front desk, I'm sorry I don't know his name, Emily, you can text me and let me know, always has a trivia question on his whiteboard, right? It's always right there. And then after that, he waits for you too. He's like, what is it? You know? Like one of them was, what are the 3 most visited houses in the United States? Right? And then you go on, and then Marge's like, enjoy the game, have a nice one, and then boom, your baseball experience happens. So, like, if you're going to be mean to somebody like that, I really want you to go take a look at yourself in the mirror and think about yourself for a second about what made you think to say something like that. And shout out to Linda for letting Marge know that we have her back and we always will.
yeah, Marge has always been the best. I mean, really has been like family to us for years. I mean,
Just imagine to have a soul like that looks like a sunflower seed. Be like, hey, your hair's
I
a little
mean,
bad
she's
today.
so cool. She went on vacation with her grandson. They did a road trip for like 2 weeks a few years ago. Just her and her 18-year-old grandson went to a
that's
wedding or
awesome.
something. Like,
Nice.
Marge is awesome. And I'll never forget my birthday during COVID. She brought me a coconut cream pie from, up there up north where Binkley gets the cinnamon rolls. Why am I drawing a blank on the name of the pie place up north? Binkley will text me in 3, 2, 1. And she showed up in COVID. Here's your pie, Bob. It's for your birthday. I'm like, she really is the best. And you talk to everybody over the years with the Royals and even with the Chiefs. I love walking into a Chiefs game and she's there. Or you go down to the arena and she's at everything. And she really is a saint. And so, Marge, we all love you. And if anybody says something negative about your hair, kick them in the shin.
We'll throw hands for you.
Absolutely. Hey, go do something nice for somebody. You never know. It could change their day, their week, their month, their year. It's simply cool to care. Kansas City, stay kind, stay safe, stay groovy. Enjoy this weather. Coming up next, it's Cody, Gold, and Drew from 10 until 2. Vern at 5:30 tonight. Royals at 6:40. Game 5 of the Thunder and the Spurs at 7:30. We'll be back tomorrow to talk to you all. Have a great day. Cheers.
Hey, it's Matt Quattrero, and you're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. 96.